maybe if we bring them all together, we can create. Oh, you know what that chime means? It's time for everyone to bend at the knees. That's right. The time has come to bend at the knees. So I invite you, everybody, no pressure, put your mind at ease.
Making pancakes. Making pancakes.
But you know, party.
Making pancakes. Making pancakes.
When you see what they did in Super Mario Brothers 3,
Yeah.
and you realize this is the same hardware that had Super Mario Brothers 1.
Yes.
It is an amazing feat.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And that's why I say yes, Super Mario Brothers Super Mario World is amazing. Looks beautiful and everything, but it's like it had to because you are on new tech.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
and to be the launch title of that, basically of the Super Nintendo or the Super Famicom, it actually represented that system very well.
Extremely,
Like it did show
yes.
the power. Like it said, you know how usually
I never forget that commercial. I would never forget this. The commercial I saw that was like the Super Nintendo is coming and all this stuff, and
Yeah.
that's all they were showing. It was just like highlights of this, and you're going.
Mario.
I was just like, oh my god, look how amazing that looks. You know what I mean? And I'll never forget it. And dude, I was I wasn't day one, but I was close to day one. So.
I was a Genesis fan, not fanboy, but yeah, I was kind of a Sega kid.
You
know.
were in that camp.
I had.
That's
Let's
what
put it
it
this
was.
way.
You were in that camp.
I had I even had the Sega CD, as I mentioned
Wow.
before. But I bought the Super Nintendo for Star Wars.
Okay.
Super
Star Wars?
Super Star Wars. Yes, for that game. No, but what I was mentioning was that when a new console comes out and the launch games, later on the lifestyle of the life cycle of that console, you look back at those launch titles and you're like, oh man, that was kind of rough, and like
Not on Super Nintendo, yeah.
Perfect Dark Zero on 360 was rough. Looking at something like that.
That is true.
But you look at Super Mario World, and I will say it held up, like throughout the entire lifetime of Super Nintendo. You could always go back to Super Mario World, and it always felt like awesome. It never felt like an old game.
No, it still doesn't. I mean, I still play it.
Yeah,
I still play it. I still have that. Like I say, every so often I plug in the Wii and throw on. Usually, the last one I played Super Mario Brothers 3, and that was a few months ago, maybe mid last year or something. I just threw it on, and I remember posting a picture. I was like, "Yep, just about to jump into this."
Back.
And I didn't do any warps. I didn't do any of that. I just went right
Went
through
through.
all the way to the end. And I was like, yes, I'm still good at this.
Dude, and I know this is very common knowledge, but one of the things that I remember blowing my mind was realizing that the whole Super Mario World 3 thing was, in the canon, was just a skit. It was a theatrical.
It was a theatrical thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Which actually, yeah, I see what you're saying.
I mean, you kind of know. I mean, it shows you very obviously, but it kind of reinforces it a lot more. Where you see the stages and you see the stages are bolted to something.
Yes,
almost.
It looks like a stage. It looks like a what is it? An elementary school play.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
It's like
exactly
they just put
that.
stuff up on the wall to make it look like clouds. yeah. That's
Yeah,
actually pretty cool, though.
You might have something there. As much as I am a huge fan of Super Mario World, I mean, you have to. There was no. Tanuki.
There was no Tanuki suit, yeah.
There was no frog.
The Frogger suit was okay. It was definitely great.
There was no
when you-
Kuribo. There you go. The Kuribo was the shit.
The what?
The Kuribo. The boot.
Oh, the boot.
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay. The that was obviously great. But the frog suit was great for your water
For the
levels.
water.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, dude. That was
Only in the
something-
water.
Yes, it was like the best swimming in the world. It was like no one's ever got swimming correct, and then you finally say, no, let's just make them swim straight.
Yeah.
Let's give him a reason to swim straight.
Yeah.
And I'm like, thank goodness. And then of course you get hit and you lose the suit.
I can't imagine how stoked I am, believe it or not, for Mario, Super Mario. What's it called? The Switch, the new Super Mario Builder
Maker.
Maker.
Super
Thank
Mario
you.
Maker.
Super Mario Builder.
Mario World. No,
I'm
Super
having my
Mario.
D's crossed. Yeah, Mario Maker.
Mario Maker.
Yeah,
thank you.
Mario Maker. Yeah. The
Yeah, I'm
second
starting
one,
to forget
basically.
shit.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's gonna be sick.
So I off the record here, even though we're technically on the record. Step is coming soon. right?
yes,
And-
finally, yes,
Wait,
it's
wait.
happening.
Wait.
It's happening.
I've done
I'm
some
hyperventilating.
I've done some research on what is owed left for the backyard and for the siding. And there's a significant chance I have significantly enough, more than enough, to actually say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and splurge on a. So-
it's
So
happening.
it's
Finally,
yeah.
I mean, buy it while it's still a new current generation
Yes.
console.
I know, right? Instead
My
of
God,
last
there's so many games. Like, you're getting Bayonetta for your birthday. Like, that's hands down. Like, you're getting
year.
it.
Good to know. I won't get it then.
No, yeah, you don't have
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
Don't exactly. Yeah, you're welcome.
Fair enough. Yeah, so that's we'll see. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm a more than 95% positive. We've done the numbers, and it's just like, okay, this will leave me a significant amount. Which
I
to
am
be fair,
excited.
Stip was pretty good this year. So
Yes,
yeah,
it
so
was,
like
yeah.
okay, so I'm happy about that.
And I just can't hide it.
Welcome back, guys. This is Arnaldo, aka Mad Dog, and this is The Real, episode 149 of GG's The Mouthful Podcast.
And this is the real Friday
The
where we're
Real
recording
Friday. Yes.
a Mouthful
fake
Podcast. Hey, GG's The Mouthful Podcast.
That's-
welcome, everybody.
Wonderful voice is my cohort, of course, Mr. David Santos, aka Dream Twister.
That is me. Hello.
What is up, sir?
Not much, evidently. It has been 2 weeks almost since
2 weeks,
we
yeah.
actually did this because, you guys got a podcast last week, a nominal podcast on the day it was supposed to come, but we recorded that too early, so I hadn't seen your freaking face
Yeah,
for
it's been a while. It's been a while.
for a while. So
last
yeah.
time I was supposed to be in Vegas, and unfortunately, hell froze over.
Literally.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Sin City literally was freezing, and it was under snow. 2 inches of snow just kind of messed
Jesus.
everything up for like they just didn't know how to react.
No.
Like New York, they
They
know
don't
what to
expect
do. 2 inches of snow, we got this.
Just like
know
you
what I mean?
said, it's the desert.
It's the desert.
How
Yes.
can-
I was in shock then. So unfortunately, my flight got canceled, and we found out. I got up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Right, to get ready. The flight was at 6. Right, so we're getting ready. Whatever. Text comes in. Your flight canceled. You're like, what the?
What?
Yeah, so mad. So we call and we're on the phone for almost 2 hours on hold. You know what I mean? And
Holy
we finally
shit.
get them, and they said the next flight that's available is Sunday, which was 4 days after that.
Yeah.
And I was like, nope.
Ah.
Yeah. So I never got to see Sin City, guys. Unfortunately, never got to see Sin City.
It was not meant to be,
Yeah.
this time, but
Yeah.
it's
I mean, it was
happening.
quite literally like something said no, don't go.
Yeah.
Boom, snow.
Well, shit.
It has not snowed in Nevada, and the last time it snowed was 17 years ago, and it was flurries. This wasn't flurries.
no.
They actually got layers.
They,
It even snowed in Los Angeles, believe it or not.
even
Los
snow in
Angeles,
San
yeah.
Francisco.
No, I don't know San Francisco. Los Angeles did.
Okay.
Yeah. Which Los Angeles is a hot city.
The
You know?
reason that's something stupid from there was a. Do you remember the extreme games of back in the days where everything was extreme after Tony Hawk?
yeah.
Oh, there was a extreme snowboarding.
Oh,
and
yes,
it was.
yes.
I don't remember. The guy, some famous snowboarder. He has his own game, and it was supposed to be like snowing everywhere, and there was snow, and he was like, "Imagine if we
Sean
would
something. I can't remember his name.
Yeah,
Sean something. Yeah.
something or other. We imagine. Oh, what would it be if it snowed in San Francisco? Something like
Yes. And then suddenly you have a level. That's in San
It
Francisco.
suddenly had
Under
exactly.
snow. Which honestly, the hills in San Francisco
That would have
would
been
make
great.
some great for
Yeah.
great snowboarding.
No kidding.
I don't blame him for dreaming this.
So,
Oh, thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Please, first off, I want you to go to goodgame.tech, Join the conversation there. And if you're listening to this on any of the podcast services or on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and share the podcast with all your friends. What we normally do is we go into what we've been up to, move on into some news items, and then finally finish with our hot topic of
topic.
the week. This week's hot topic,
What is the hot topic?
style over substance.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
a very like a proper
Yes.
topic to
Yes.
come up with. You know,
Especially nowadays.
especially yes, in
Nowadays
the
with these half-baked, shall we
Yeah.
call them, half-baked titles that
a lot of gas,
a lot of exactly.
lot of
That's all it gives you is gas.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah,
Just
exactly.
Putin everywhere. All right,
Yes.
guys. So let's start. Mr. David Santos, I hear you had a lot going on in these 2 weeks. What have you been doing?
I'm literally gonna cut this one real short because I haven't done anything gaming related whatsoever. I mean,
Wait, in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
basically. Oh, wow.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, and I want to say I've been busy, but I haven't even been that busy.
It's like I'm
For
just
the most
sleeping.
part,
That's it.
honestly, there's something happened this week, where. Or last week, I was missing you, bro. That's what it was. That's what it was. I was missing my
appreciate it.
bro.
Thank you
That's
so
why
much.
I didn't even want to game. Man. It's like, who's got an Apex, Legends with me? No. But for some reason, this like Anthem, Anthem got released, and obviously that didn't go very well to say it mildly.
Yeah.
And something with that and with the lack of stuff to be excited for this year, basically. I mean, so look at this. Sony's not even having a freaking press conference
know,
at
right?
E3, so I can't even look forward to that.
Honestly, we took E3 off, and now I'm going, what? I should probably just
I should
work
probably,
that day.
it's like,
What am I going to miss? Xbox conference? No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
yeah. So it got me a little upset. It probably one of the reasons why I actually even say, hey, let's talk about we got to talk about this. On the hot topic.
Yes.
Because it feels like lately, gaming has become just that. It's just a bunch of hype for like nothing, like delivering very little, if anything. And we had it very, earlier. Well, not this year actually. And at the end of last year with Fallout 76, for example, and the Division is looking like it's going that route, and then with Anthem and stuff like that. It's like
The highly anticipated.
AAA titles.
Anthem,
yeah. This had led me to feel like very ungamey. I haven't wanted to
Fair
play
enough, yeah.
anything, so I've been mostly just watching, just studying and watching YouTube videos and studying stuff that I'm into. Like I like networking stuff and that's what I've been like. Honestly, sitting down, considering actually working on getting my Cisco certifications and stuff like that. Like looking
Nice.
at pricing things out just to see for once. I will say that I was doing something to not to be more more productive, because I like where I'm at right now. It's just I kind of want to do something that I like, that I'm really into.
Yeah.
Like I would love to have a job that is based on that.
Yeah.
So those things have got me of thinking, but not that derailed me completely from gaming. It was just feeling like that, bro.
It was just a
feeling like
mood.
that.
It was all
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
a
yeah.
current
It
mood.
was,
and it is the
just
current
not
mood of the
happening.
industry too. So it's not like, people are just like, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
I've run through those as well.
I even tried to, like, I sat down for an hour before actually you were actually on your way now, and I'm like, well, the open beta for the Division 2. Oh, because that's right, guys. The open beta for the Division 2 is open now from
right now, yes.
from right now, from Friday until I believe is March 4th.
Oh, okay. So Monday.
So yeah. So if you guys want to check it out, you don't need to have pre-order or anything like that. You can just download it. But I was playing that, and I just wasn't feeling it. You know, it was like, no, this is not the type of game I want to play. You know, this is not. And yeah, I'm frustrated. I quit. I'm done. I'm done with gaming.
I quit for today.
I'm just gonna do networking equipment. That's gonna be at a podcast now.
That's amazing.
The Ethernet podcast.
Ethernet podcast coming soon. Spinoff of GG's Mouthful podcast.
And that's gonna be just hosted by me and me alone.
We'll get Rob the robot to come.
There you go.
To come and
Thank you.
podcast with you. So because we didn't go anywhere, I've had plenty of time to actually deep dive into many a games.
Yeah, suddenly you found yourself with a lot of gaming
a lot of time that I didn't think I was gonna have. You know, would have
This is
preferred to
the-
be in Sin City, to be honest with you. But
Yeah, well.
you know, but it is what it is.
At least you don't lose money this way.
True, yes, I would have lost a lot of money.
Yeah.
So first off, I want to say that I finally, I beat again Resident Evil 2.
Oh, yeah.
I did this shit all over again. And I freaking
Is it the opposite?
Claire Leon.
Clearly, okay.
And I freaking dude, that's right now is my game of the year.
That
Easily,
is
easily my game of the year. I don't find anything wrong with it. Yes, has backtracking. Who cares? The game's not big.
Yeah.
It's not like you're in an open world anywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It is what it
It's a
is.
complete title.
Correct. It's a complete title on top of that. And on top of that, you got free DLC.
And yes,
yes.
that's true. By the way, I did play a little bit, you know, of that and
The free DLC, the Ghost Survivors?
no, sorry, of Resident Evil 2, and like I got a little bit more in the jam of it, where like it doesn't bother me, you know, as much.
This guy.
this
Yeah,
guy
the
doesn't
issue,
bother me
yeah.
as much. The major issue that I have.
My
you know,
character of the
okay.
year, yes.
Yeah, your character.
Yes,
of the year.
that is my character of the year, guys. If you don't know who I'm talking about, play Resident Evil 2. Seriously, I'm thinking maybe there's something that may topple it off the thing, but I finished the game and literally wanted to just start it all over again. And this
Again,
would have
the
been
third
my
one. Wow.
fifth playthrough, and I'm just you know
God.
like it's just really really good. Anyway,
Yeah.
I also played Life is Strange: Beyond the Storm.
Oh,
yeah, the whole thing. I
That.
was able to complete it. So because there's only
Wait.
3 episodes anyway.
Oh, it's only 3 episodes. They're done with that.
No, this is Life is Strange Beyond the Storm. Chloe Price's thing from the first one.
Oh, okay. I was thinking
it was like
Life
a
is Strange
spin-off.
2.
No,
Yeah,
that one
gotcha.
after, which I will. This one was funny because I had it there and I was just like, all right, let me just. I guess it's not going to take very long. I can get through it. So overall, I thought it was good. Okay.
Yeah.
The storyline was obviously if you played the first one, slight spoilers here for the first one, but there's some powers or elements that are or some abilities that the main
Supernatural
character has.
abilities,
Supernatural
yeah.
abilities. That there's nothing like that in play here. It's a little weird because your character you play as Chloe Price from the first one, which if you play with the first one, you kind of know what happens.
Yeah.
But this is a prequel. It basically leads when you didn't play the first one. You remember she was talking about her best friend Rachel. Rachel Amber. So this is when she meets Rachel Amber, and then they get together and they kind of hang out and stuff like that. My particular version of this was a very romantic version. Like I said, you know what? She's nice. Chloe's cool. We're just gonna do this. You know what I mean? And if you play the first one, then you know it's doomed to fail anyway. You know what I mean?
Spoiler.
I mean, you know.
Not really.
Yeah, not really, because you wouldn't play this one if you hadn't played the other one anyway. So,
Yeah, exactly.
My only issue was with it, and I don't remember if the first one had it. Maybe you remember, but there were some really like wonky physics when it came to the moving around. The camera was weird, and I was like, why does it just feel a little floaty? And part of me is like, I don't remember if the first one was like this, and I'm just not remembering it that way.
Was it the Unreal Engine again?
This, that's a good question.
Because I've
no,
heard,
this was Unity, I think.
That's what I
This is
heard.
Unity,
yeah.
yeah.
Because the first one, I believe it was Unreal Engine, and yes, there was a concern. Actually, someone I heard this. Actually, it might have been Shadow. Maybe it was either Shadow when she played
it could be
back
because she
then,
did play it back then. Yeah.
or another podcast. But there was a concern about the not the graphics, but the physics, the world. It's like it's not at that level of the original.
The first one definitely had well, from what again in my mind's eye, it had a much better look to it. Character models. Facial animations did work a little bit better. The first one didn't really have good facial animations, which kind of silly, but at the same time, the story is what grabbed
say
you.
it was stylized almost that way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the story on this one definitely is better than I was expecting. I really, like I said, I kind of got into
I
it.
thought you were gonna say better than Life is Strange. I was gonna stop you right there.
No, not better than Life is Strange. The first one, I could definitely say that.
One of the best stories.
Yes.
told.
Yes. This one is this one doesn't have the same impact.
Impact?
The I guess the especially when you get to that one decision when you're like
the moment.
it doesn't have impact. Like there are some impactful moments, nothing that level. Again, she doesn't have any abilities, but she does have this weird thing where it's like an argument ability where a thing comes up and you have the ability, you have the opportunity to argue with someone to get them to do something or to get them not to do something, whatever you want to do.
So Chloe's being
So Chloe is being
Chloe,
exactly.
basically.
Yeah. It's like, so no wonder she's sassy. You know, and I was like, okay. So they all call her that.
That is her superpower.
It is. I agree.
I got the superpower of being a bitch.
Pretty
And
much.
I'm gonna complain about everything. We're gonna argue about everything.
Yeah, exactly. And she does it right.
'Cause I'm Chloe.
She does it right.
Yeah.
But overall, like I said, it wasn't bad in any way. It's just like those weird graphical things where it's just like I don't remember being like this, but whatever. You just kind of let it go. And the voice acting,
I was gonna say
the voice acting was a little bit weird, but I don't know if it was because it was cut or edited, in a weird way.
no, it was a different actress.
No. I know it was a different actress, but I'm
Right.
saying the way it played out, like it she would say something, and the motion comes out, and then it's like this pause, and it's like, why are we pausing? Somebody would normally just answer right back after that.
Oh,
But I think it was
yeah.
like more of like an editing or
Yeah.
programming, I guess.
Or Unity being Unity.
Yeah, or Unity being Unity.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but anyway, I enjoyed it. It did have I thought it was going to include the goodbye episode, which is the episode where she says goodbye to the main character Max from the first one. But it didn't. It required me to pay for that. I was like, no, thank you.
It doesn't
I'm
get
all
played.
right. Yeah. So I know she said goodbye. That's all I need to know. that's
That would be
that was
funny.
enough for me.
If the whole thing made you pay, let's say $5 for it, the whole thing was like press F to say goodbye.
That would have been, honestly, that would have been gangster.
I
That would have been
know.
like,
Totally.
well played, Square.
Yes,
Well
yeah.
played.
Indeed. Don't not.
No, this is not Don't Nod. There was another.
Oh, that's
yes,
right.
there was somebody
Don't
else
Nod
who-
was because
fir-
Don't Nod was working on that
Vampire,
vampire, whatever.
I think it's just vampire. Everybody says vampire, but I think it really is just vampire.
It sounds like vampire. I don't know. Well, I know how to write vampire. It's not written like that.
This is true. This is very true. So no, I definitely, if you enjoy the first one, I recommend this one. This I think was free at some point. Maybe it was included with something, or maybe I got it on a sale or something like that. Maybe I got it on a
You
sale.
probably got it on sale.
Yeah. Next game I play, which I'm still playing now, and I'm very excited to get back to. Very, 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 very excited to get back to, is Hitman.
Oh yes, yes. Again, there you go. I'm
yes.
so happy to hear that.
So
Hitman,
yeah.
talk to me. Tell me
So,
about Hitman, sir.
Let me preface this real quick by saying that I never played the original one because it was only on PC.
Right.
The original Hitman, or I think it was something Agent 47 or something like that. That was the original, and I never played it because it was on PC. The Silent Assassin, which is Hitman 2, was the first one that came to console. It was available on PlayStation 2. That was the first one I played, and I played all of them except for Absolution. So I guess not all of them. But anyway, I absolutely love this series, and it is so cool to see it go back to what it was supposed to be. So Absolution I never played, but I know about it, and it became a little bit linear, and it became more story-based. And unfortunately, the story has never been a big aspect of the series. There's a story usually in the background, but it's not about that. It's about, how do I take this person out? Okay, let me do it again and do it completely differently. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a
and
sandbox.
Basically, a small sandbox. Yeah.
Small box. Yeah.
And so they did that in spades, bro. In freaking spades. I was like, this is way better than, this is the best Hitman.
Yeah,
period.
this is definitely
the most absolute best Hitman. And I have done the Paris mission probably a good 20 times already.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
Sir, at some point you have to move on.
I did. I moved on to the second one. I haven't done anything past the second one because I'm still trying to get. So the reason I did that, I did the Paris mission. I finally got Silent Assassin, right? So the five bars or whatever, 5 symbols, right? So I'm like, I got Silent Assassin. I'm good, you know. So now I'm playing the fucking round in the place. I'm just like taking people out. I'm freaking doing everything. Just like
Civilians are dying.
Yeah, it's
left
like,
and
oh
right.
well,
It's like,
freaking yeah.
it's Call of Duty now.
It's called collateral damage, guys. That's what happens. No, but
I'm a really loud assassin in this one.
fuck Silent Assassin. You know what I mean? It's all about how can I do this in the most spectacular way.
Oh my god! I'm thinking, is the Paris mission? Is the Paris mission the one with the fashion show?
The runway, yes.
The
yes,
runway,
yes.
the one with Mr. Kruger.
Kruger, yes.
Yes!
Yeah, that's
Character of the year, right there, buddy. I mean, of the year that it came out,
Yeah.
2016 was it?
Yes.
Dude, oh my god,
2016. Yeah.
that is. I mean, not to say that the
First off, he fucking like he played that role well.
Yeah.
When he did the runway, he kind of stopped, looked, and then when I was like, wow, this dude is fucking
Dude,
a chameleon.
Let me tell you, I played forward enough to say, yeah, you know, other missions are just as great, if not better. But something about this particular stage makes me want to go back and play it over and over again. It's just like
it's the
it's the
quintessential-
ridiculousness
it's
of being at a fashion show.
True.
It's like the typical, like that. Of course, that will be an Agent 47 mission.
Exactly.
Of course.
Of course. This is the quintessential either assassin or spy.
Or spy,
a spy
yes.
mission. And that's essentially what it is.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, that's it. You know, that's a perfect, it's always some sort of event,
Yeah.
some black tie event.
Yes.
And that's what it is. It's a black tie event. I don't know if the other ones are like that. I don't need to know. I've only done the second one, which is Sapienza, which is in Italy.
I like Sapienza too, yeah.
I am frustrated with Sapienza, but I'll get to that in a second.
I think I know why.
So I was able to do the silent. I was able to basically what I did was I did the Kruger mission because
Yeah.
that's the easiest way to eliminate the one target because you're alone with them.
Yes.
And you're like, this is cake right
Done.
here, you know. So I've done it so many times where I do it because I'm getting the challenges, and the challenges kind of unlock more stuff. So now I get to start inside somewhere
yeah.
or in the basement, in the kitchen,
Which I
or in the
love.
roof.
It's like getting a new level suddenly.
Yeah, it's like, okay, there's this one challenge that you can do stuff as a magician, and I am dying to find that outfit because I'm like, oh my God, it's going to be mass hysteria
I need to do
because this damn magician is killing everybody.
The basic thing that I found with this game is that it's not just the mission that it tells you, okay, now do it like this. You know, it's not the one where they're directing you how to do, but you could actually find some crazy things on your own.
Oh, yeah,
and be
yeah.
like, and they get rewarded for it, of
Oh,
course.
absolutely,
And
yeah.
you're like, oh yes.
I found this in so guys, I'm gonna speak a little lightly. You probably don't know what I'm doing. but
I was gonna say, this is not the type of game that you can really
spoil. Yeah, it's not really
because of the way
spoilers.
it is.
You kill them. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? That's, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know that's
Exactly.
gonna happen, right? So
Exactly.
So I was able to I took out the guard of the main target, hit him with the thing, and apparently he had a phone, right? And I was like, who? Phone? Okay. And then it says make a call. It says code 40. No, I don't think it's 47, but code something. You know what I mean? And then he picks it up. He goes, code something. You know, whatever. Make sure you get. Secure the. I don't know, the primary whatever. And then all the guards take the two people who have to kill to this one location and then leave them by themselves. I'm like, oh, this is like genius.
This is pointless.
You know what I mean? So there's a few that I'm still trying to figure out how to do. Like there's a way of becoming a sheik, like a guy from the Middle East or something like that. Or
Oh
yeah, like he has the whole Middle Eastern get up.
Yeah.
Like there's a way of becoming him, and then you can become part of like this like conversation, and you can unlock stuff. And I'm trying. That's honestly the discovery of it has always been the coolest part of Hitman.
And also, if you want to get more of the story, you are encouraged to play those,
Yes.
that way, because as you see it from different angles, you actually end up uncovering more and more
Yes.
of the story.
Yeah.
So it is, dude. I like there is there's at some point, I don't know if it's because how engaged I have to be on these missions, and like thinking and strategizing and all that I become a little fatigued, and then I stop. And then, but it don't matter because I can always go back and pick up where I left off. And
the controls are
fantastic.
intuitive.
Yes.
There's so much that you can do. It's unreal. I've taken people out in so many different ways, and in so many ways where non-lethal as well. And it's just like this is this is perfect.
Have you ever dropped a toilet on someone?
Dropped a toilet? No.
All right.
Can't say I have yet.
Maybe you haven't found all those different ways.
No. I would say all of them, but I can definitely say I'm absolutely loving it. It's really, really good stuff.
I knew from the moment I started playing. Remember, I brought it a few podcasts ago. I actually brought it. I'm like, I'm dying for you to try it.
Oh yeah,
I know you
because I
will
told you
enjoy
I got it. Yeah, because it was free. It was on PS. By the way, this is on a PS Plus game. I think for this month, right? It ends. Yes, it ends soon because we're March. So by this Wednesday, guys, if you have not already, just tag it. Don't even worry about later about downloading it. Just tag the shit.
Grab it.
So the levels, like I said, are especially like I'm in Italy, and holy crap, is Italy big, dude.
Yeah.
I've wandered off into little side streets, and at some point I'm like, I'm just gonna sit in this cafe, have some coffee. Why not?
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's so cool. My problem with the Italian one is that freaking underground level. I'm just like, how do I get in there and not kill anybody because I'm surrounded by people?
Yeah.
And hello.
Yeah. Hi, honey. My wife just arrived.
She's waving, but she's not saying nothing.
Yeah.
But I'm surrounded by like scientists and all these people, and I'm like, how does one do this without taking anybody out? Because obviously, if you take somebody out, you lose points. You know what I mean? And it's okay. I don't mind doing that, but I want to get Silent Assassin first. Once I get Silent Assassin, I'm like,
now Silent Assassin, you get him just by not killing any civilians.
Not killing any civilians, not getting seen by any cameras, nobody's found.
What if you are picked up by a camera?
We can wipe the cameras out.
Okay, I was gonna say because I get picked up by cameras all the time. But I always make it a habit because you get bonus.
But you don't know.
points.
Correct. But you also don't know. They're not. It's not. Hey, the camera's there. Oh, the thing must be in behind the wall. No, it's not there. you have to search for them.
No, I search for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my dilemma half the time there. There was some other thing, and then of course you can't kill anybody.
Right.
And so if you get all that, and of course you have to take out the targets. If you get all that stuff, can't kill anybody who's not the targets. Was what I mean by that.
Right.
Also, you have to be careful if you knock people out. They have to not see you. If they see you, like if you're throwing something at them, that's an unconscious witness. So they actually spotted you, but you knocked them out. You know what I mean? So
that would count against you.
Correct. And so it's just so annoying. I'm like, and I can't remember my God. Now here's one thing I will say that the game does really well, and that is save points. It is a constantly saving in the background.
Yeah.
So if you do something wrong, you just reload the very last one and just do it again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's something, dude, I can tell you right now is a godsend because that is not available in the old ones. You know, it's like you are starting over, my friend.
Oh, no.
Or just complete the mission and go with whatever you want, you know?
So,
but these are so much bigger that it's like, God, if you had to start over, you'd drop kick the TV, dude.
So how can I say that? I bet you almost wish that you would have uncovered this sooner so that you'll be playing those elusive target missions.
Probably, but
because you get the bigger rewards or the special rewards or the whatever's, you actually get them by completing those, and those are difficult because
they're one shot.
You only got one shot to do them. Yeah, exactly.
I would like to have gotten a try on it, especially since I tend to take my time.
They're still happening on the second one.
On the second one, yeah. But I can already say I'm going to spend a lot of time on this one.
Yeah.
And I feel bad because I literally have new games sitting in shrink wrap that I have yet to open, which is Shadow of the Colossus and Detroit Become Human. They're still sitting there. I was actually going to open one up, and then I saw, hey, I have Hitman. Let me try that real quick. And that was it. I spent a day playing, literally a day playing it.
Really?
Yeah,
I can't play
from
that long.
noon until sometime at 2 o'clock in the morning. I think.
Wow.
That's
too much. See, I wish I could. Even having the time, I don't think I can put that, because at one point my mind will be fatigued.
You know what? And that could be why I've had problems sleeping. I'm constantly thinking of stuff, and I'm like, what is wrong with me? Why can't I sleep? Anyway,
probably that.
I digress. So no, one of my only complaints of this game, and it is a major complaint, is what would probably have kept me from giving it any perfect score or close to perfect score. It is that it is constantly online.
Yes.
And that is the most annoyingly stupid thing. And there's no freaking
notice
reason.
it.
I get, hey, if you're going to do elusive target, fine. I get that. That makes sense. But if I'm not doing elusive target and I lose connection for some reason, for any reason at all, don't interrupt my game. There's no reason to interrupt my game. It's just stupid, dude. And I'm like, there's just no reason. And that's where I say they shit the fucking bed.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, what was the point of this?
No.
There's no point.
There's
Yeah,
there's
no point.
absolutely no point. Anything that had to do with like score, like you mentioned, doing the exclusive, the elusive targets,
Mm-hmm.
or let's say trying to rank up on some type of, you didn't need to be online.
No.
You
Well,
know,
it just
that-
needs to
all the
when you
time.
go back, hey, a refresh or something like that, and it lets it refresh once you're done with the mission or something
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
so annoying.
I love the loadouts. I love trying new things on loadouts. I was doing the Sapienza one, and it was so stupid because I finally got the sniper rifle into the apartment, the hidden apartment, right? So, and I was able to break into the apartment again. I got the sniper rifle, and I'm going, what do I do with this?
Yeah, when do I use
I
it?
get to the top of this building. I take the guy out. Like, fuck, I would just kill his ass. No big deal. So I kill him, and then I'm reaching on the window, and I see the target, but their head is just literally passing over the railing a little bit, and I'm like, I don't have line of sight. And I was like looking around, whatever, and I cannot go outside with this gun because there's no way of hiding this gun.
No.
And I'm like, this is a waste of a room. I mean, I don't know if maybe I can get them. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I can get them to come out. Somehow I can get them to come out. See, I'm already. This is what I spend my nights doing, man.
One of the because I played the first one. I own Hitman 2, but I haven't played the 2 version of Hitman because it comes with the original Hitman. So I'm playing the original Hitman first because I want to complete that before I jump into 2. But Hitman 2, even though it has the same level and obviously the same layout and all that, it has little quality of life improvements here and there. Nothing like major, but if anything, one of the little bit major thing I would say is that it does give you a thing to conceal your big rifles. Like you could actually put them in this like maletin.
Yeah. A suitcase.
Exactly. Which I understand. The suitcase was a big part of the old games, or at least
I don't recall the suitcase being a big part of the old games, unless
really, or unless it was some sort of unlock or something. I don't know.
Maybe.
I heard like everybody was happy that it came back, and I didn't know anything about it.
Was he carrying it all the time? He just had a place where he can.
You could use it.
Oh,
you could actually.
Wait a minute. I think it's coming back to me.
Yeah, you could use.
But it wouldn't have been it wouldn't have been. It doesn't matter. It wouldn't have been the first. Although Hitman 2, it would have been Hitman 2. It would have been one of the later ones.
What? Yeah,
like contracts or something like that.
It was a way of, like you just mentioned. It's like, what do I do now? I can't use this rifle. I can't take it anywhere. Well, if you have, of course, it'll have to be at the expense of something else that you could be carrying.
Of course.
You could be carrying the suitcase, but you could have the suitcase and bring that
gun.
gun anywhere. You know.
Yeah.
So
that's my issue at the moment. I have a sniper rifle in a room. I have no line of sight. Don't know what I'm gonna do.
you know,
Well, I'm gonna figure it out.
And I think another little improvement that it does is that if a body gets found, for example, like it will have picture in picture. So if
okay, the new one.
Yeah. So the new one, and the picture in picture even works on the older missions.
Oh, okay.
On the original Hitman missions, where let's say, for example, if it was a case where someone gets discovered, it'll show you a picture in picture. Okay, this is what happening. You know
Who it is, or
who
which
it
body
is, or
it
what.
is.
Yeah, it's not just like, oh, suddenly you got found out and you don't remember why.
I mean, you got to be killing a lot of people to
Yeah,
not
that's
remember
true.
why.
That's true.
It's like, which one was that I left out there?
I have one case where I was trying to. There's a problem with this game. We could talk
Oh,
forever
forget
about
it. Like I said, yeah,
about
yeah.
anecdotes. But just real quick, I'm doing trying to get rid of not trying to get Kruger's phone because I knew about the thing of calling.
calling the chick, yeah.
Of calling so that so I knew I had to get rid of it. And of course, I also wanted his costume so I can be him.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know. So and I
I love
killed
it when she goes, "No, you have to do the show. You have to be seen."
Yeah.
I'm like, to the wrong way I
Okay.
go.
Yes. so I know that I basically knocked him out because I'm not gonna kill him because he's cool.
The first time, where did you knock him out at?
I knocked him out very close to where he's talking on the phone.
Okay.
On this- on
I
this
actually threw
area.
him. The first time I just threw him over the thing, and
But
he
that's
just
the thing.
fucking drowned. I'm
So
like,
much,
oh well.
that was the thing. That was what I was gonna say. Because suddenly a guard was coming my way, and I'm like, "Oh shit! This body. They gotta discover him. What do I do? What do I do?" Oh, they just chuck him in the water over the rail.
Yeah.
And of course that kills him. So I'm like, "Oh well, great, kill fucking Kruger." That was not my target, and of course I got told.
The first
for
time I
killing
was
him.
like, no problem. Next time I won't kill him. But the mission must go on.
"Hey, you
'Cause
gotta think on your feet."
That was the first. Because I mean, honestly, when I first enter, I really just kind of go, all right, I'm gonna feel this out, see where I can go, see what I can do.
Yeah.
Like the Italy mission, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to the front, and I'm dressed up as a doctor. I'm like, all right, we'll go this whatever. And of course, then they go, oh, they're gonna frisk you. I'm like, son of a bitch, I have like guns on me. And I'm like, damn it. And I'll be right back. You know, and I'm like, now I dump stuff, and I'm like, all right, let me go in. And obviously, this doesn't raise any alarms with him. Like, he didn't want to be frisked before. He's okay now. You think he dumped something? You know, but I'm like, all right, whatever. You know, and I move in, and that was a good way of taking out. But the best one that I did was in that same La Sapienza, right? So the woman is coming in, and she's being followed by a guard, right? So she's constantly guarded by somebody. So I'm like, I have to take her out, but I can't kill him. You know, and obviously, if I take her out, he's going to automatically see. But he can't see me do it either. So I was like, this was impossible. So I hid in a box that was behind her desk. All right, and so she comes in and she goes to her desk and she's kind of looking at paperwork. The guard comes in and he's just kind of waiting, and he kind of moves off to the side to look at something over here. I jump out because I had just grabbed the letter opener from her desk, stab her in the neck real quick. She drops to the floor. I dump her into the same box, and then I jump in the box with her. And the guard comes back and he turns around and goes. It's like, where'd she go? And then he just leaves. And I'm like, this was genius. Honestly,
awesome.
as I was doing it, I didn't think it was gonna work. And then when it worked, I was like,
Dude,
oh, that's
that
awesome.
was, it is ways that the game gives you ways of getting away with the
Murder.
stuff that you actually want to do.
Yeah.
Literally. And allowing you to.
Yes.
And allowing to. And I realize this is not a new game, although the second one is kind of new.
Yeah.
But guys, you have to tag this. You have to
You
grab
have,
this.
you
now.
have a
gotta
few days
play
left,
it.
guys. You gotta just do it.
It was.
I think Wednesday probably is when Tuesday. Tuesday is when it switches over to.
Oh shoot! So
to
you
March,
only have
yeah.
this weekend.
Yes.
Go!
You do it now. And my only smaller gripe behind that major gripe that I have, which they always online bullshit, is while it is not expected to have a big story, there was always this underlying story, and I don't see what it is. It feels like it's actually a reboot. Like it's literally rebooting because he's now becoming the assassin. And it's interesting because he was supposed to be he's number 47 because he was a 47th clone and all this. None of that seems to be in there. I don't know if it's going to include it
Or not.
eventually.
Yeah, I don't know.
So it's a little bit of a bummer. I was like, okay, if you're going to reboot it, then hey, let's get that original story going, you know, because he ends up, well, if you play the original, which you know what, I'm going to spoil because it's really old anyway,
Sorry.
is he ends up taking out his original, the guy who created him and basically made them to be assassins. But here, I guess they went a different way. So it is what it is.
Either that or it might. I mean, I honestly I haven't played that far to know because just like you said, it seems it is a reboot actually. No doubt, it is a reboot.
Hands down, yeah.
But it's probably not like a origin story. Maybe
no,
it doesn't feel like.
I
that,
mean,
at
it does.
least.
She does mention Diana. You get your handler back. She
Yeah.
was big in all the other ones. In Absolution, spoiler for Absolution, his target is actually Diana, which makes it an interesting thing. I'm like, son of a bitch. I wanted to play it, but then when I heard it was so linear, I was like, no, fuck that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do that. So I was a little bummed that they don't have that, but maybe they'll include something into it. We'll
Or
see.
maybe maybe that story, because it's been told already so many times. Maybe they're just taking a different
Yeah,
take
that
on
could
it.
be it too, because they know that he's from Romania, but they don't know everything of his background.
Right.
He seems to be top of the charts with everything, and I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
But I'm literally, I can't wait to go back and play that. game.
Hitman is the shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Would
And
it
then
make you Would it make you play 2?
it would, but not immediately after this.
Right,
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
First off, I have
you'll need-
2 games I need to
True.
get to. 2 shrink wrap games. And then I've seen a couple things, so I'm just gonna kind of quickly go through the 2 of them. Just 2 things, really. I saw the movie Black Klansman,
Oh,
Which
I didn't want to watch that one.
which
Actually,
is
I'm watching
a
that
true
one.
a true. You are watching?
No,
Oh.
well, yeah, I'm gonna. I'm not missing that one.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
This is actually a true story.
Holy shit.
Of the it's basically takes place. I want to say it's the 70s, maybe 60s, maybe 70s. I don't know, somewhere in there, where a black officer from Colorado, the police department, the first African American officer of this police department, becomes a cop and everything. By the way, it's played by his name is John David Washington, which is Denzel Washington's son.
Oh wow. Okay.
So which I'll get to why I think. Anyway, I'll get to a little bit more on him in a second. But basically, he ends up becoming this cop, and what he ends up doing is infiltrating the KKK,
Yeah.
which obviously being a black man is impossible, right? How the hell do you become
Obviously.
part of them? But he does it by phone, and then what he ends up doing is, and this is in the trailer, it's not really a spoiler.
Right.
He does it by phone, and what he ends up doing is getting one of his cop buddies to be him in the actual meetings. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And which is played by Adam Driver, who is Kylo Ren, the
Oh,
same
yeah.
actor Kylo Ren. So anyway, the movie
I
is
probably need to watch this tonight.
the movie is
The more
funny,
you talk about it.
funny at crazy moments. It's crazy at crazy moments too, because it is a Spike Lee joint. So obviously he has these weird moments. It was so when I think of what's the other one? Sorry to Bother You.
Sorry to bother you.
Bother
Yeah, I
You.
was just thinking of that too.
Yeah, Sorry to Bother You to me was the better film. This is not bad in any way, and again, it's a true story, so I think everybody should watch it anyway.
Yeah.
But Denzel's son, John David. First off, it's funny because every so often I hear him, it's like, man, he sounds like Denzel. I'm not gonna lie. So already he's probably got like star power in Hollywood for this film. Let's just say.
Yeah.
But on top of that, he I don't know, he just sounded weird. And I didn't know if it was because he was trying to portray a certain thing or whatever. And maybe the way the
What do
story
you mean, like he
was-
wasn't landing it?
maybe a little wooden, you know what I mean? But again, I don't know if that's what he was going for, because the real life cop may have just been this way, and I guess he may be playing that role.
Yeah.
I want to see more of him though, the actor, to make a judgment call on that. But it is cool. I definitely recommend everybody to watch it. I wrote a few things down here. I just want to. It was a silly a couple times, but again, that may have been on purpose. It's very on the nose when it comes to its message. Very on the nose. Okay,
Okay.
like okay, yeah.
Hit you upside the head with it.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, several times.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
All right.
There is one character. I don't know if she's in the trailer, so I will keep it as whatever. There's one character that to me signifies the person I'm most afraid of in this world now.
Oh,
You know what I
wow.
mean? And I don't mean afraid in the fact that I fear them, but I'm
No.
afraid of the stupid shit they may do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which you have no control of. You know
Right,
what I mean?
right.
So, and the problem with this particular character is that they are the least suspecting character that you would, you know what I mean? But they are just as I guess bad as the rest of
As
them. You know what I mean?
ruthless,
So it's just
yeah.
like, wow, you know. So that's a character where I think probably supporting character of the year, or whatever. You know,
Nice.
you know,
Wow.
only because, like I said, she really did something. I suppose she did really did
Oh,
something.
you did say she
I did
before.
Okay,
yeah.
okay. So, anyway, so I saw that, so I definitely recommend that. And then the final thing that I saw was The Umbrella Academy, which is on
That's series?
Netflix.
Okay.
Yes, a series on Netflix. It is based off a graphic novel, so it's a sort of a comic book hero story, where the main so the story begins where, and again, this is in the trailer, so I'm not spoiling anything. At some point in the, well, I guess we'll call it the 60s or something like that, or maybe 90s, I don't know. Well, the point is, at some point, 43 women around the world gave birth on this one day, right? Which normally wouldn't be that crazy, only the fact that at the beginning of that day, none of them were ever pregnant. So that's the that's the craziest part
Wow.
about it. Yeah. So this rich entrepreneur guy goes to these women and essentially offers to buy the kids, you know. And it's like, yeah, and he is able to get 7 of them. And those 7 become his Umbrella Academy. They all have some sort of ability, or they all seem to have ability, except for one. Her name she's the one played by Juno. Oh gosh, what is her name? Well, let me get her name up here.
Yeah,
You know what I'm talking about. Yes, she was in
the girl from Remember Me,
from Remember Me.
the game.
No, that's not Remember Me. It's
I know. Yeah, it's not Remember Me.
Beyond Two Souls.
Beyond Two Souls, that's the one.
Oh God, it's gonna kill me.
I
Let me
forgot her
bring it
name.
up here.
Juno. Yeah.
Juno, yeah.
Yeah.
So she's one of them, and then you have a bunch of other people. I don't recognize any of those actors or actresses, but overall, Ellen Page. There you go. Ellen
There
Page.
you go. Thank you.
Ellen Page actually did probably the best of the roles, but she's also a seasoned actress, so that's to be expected as well. What I liked about the show was it didn't hold your hand. There's a lot of elements that at first glance you go, whoa, how the hell did that happen? Or, you know, this is crazy. How come nobody's reacting to this? And it's because, well, this is the world they live in. So it's just,
This is normal.
they're not going to react crazy to it because it's already there. So it doesn't hold your hand in that sense. There's not a lot of exposition when it comes to certain things. There's a lot of exposition that comes when it comes to other things. So that's kind of an annoyance. Also, the series is 10 episodes long, and I think 8 would have done. I think 7 would probably even made it a little bit better, you know,
wow.
because there's a lot of unnecessary downtime where it's just like, we should be moving along here, guys. You know what I mean? So that said, the way that each episode starts is awesome. Like the intro to each episode is they call it the cold intro, whatever it is. Very cool. Special effects are good. Actually pretty good for Netflix. And 2 of my favorite characters, number 5, which is the 5th of the kids, and another one who actually has a name. His name is Klaus. The 2 of my favorites right there. They steal the show as far as I'm concerned. And I honestly recommend it's on Netflix, so there's no point not watching it. Why not? If you watch the first episode, and I think the first episode is what gets you, because I was hooked at that first. I was like, holy shit, do I need to keep watching this? And then, of course, it slows down so much. So I was like, oh, you know, let's move this along, you know.
But when you say it's 10 episodes long, you mean this is the first season, or do you mean
This
it
is the
ended?
first season.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Oh,
This
there
is
you
the
go.
first
All right.
season. So, yeah, that's all I'll say. I won't say anything else. But this is the first season of a show that's meant to have more seasons, and I think
Yeah.
season 2 has already been greenlit. So,
Okay.
but yeah, I dug it, and it was pretty cool. Last thing I just want to bring up is that I saw Ninja Assassin again, which
Again?
Ninja Assassin from
Yeah,
2009.
yeah. No.
Did you ever see it?
No.
Oh
I
my-
saw Ninja Scroll and I was thinking for the longest time I thought it was the same thing.
No,
Whenever
no.
people start talking about it, and then I remember, oh wait a minute, no, Ninja Scroll is something else.
Yes, Ninja Assassin, guys, is sir. You like ninjas over pirates?
Oh, obviously.
okay,
Yeah.
all right. So ninjas. Now, first off, I want to preface this by
Can
saying
I watch this with my wife?
you can. Yeah,
Okay.
it
all right.
is graphic though. Okay.
Oh yeah.
It is graphic. Like if you can take.
Well, it's the hentai. Is what I'm asking.
No, not that
Okay,
graphic.
good.
No, not
That's what I
not
want to
that
make
kind
sure.
of graphic.
Because even Ninja Scroll has some part where it's
This
like,
is not
oh.
animation. This is not animation at all.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
this is
okay,
live
good.
action.
Yeah, okay.
So,
I'm
no.
down.
if you had the DVD of this movie, okay, and you had the ability to wring it out, like if it was a towel, it would drip blood.
Oh,
There are buckets of blood in this movie.
Ninja. And of course, it flows like a fountain when they cut. heads and
At
shit.
times, yes.
Yeah, of course.
No, my absolute favorite part of this movie is that it knows what it is. It's
Yeah.
not trying to be, Ninja Scroll with this fantastical whatever. It's not trying to be a freaking, the way of the ninja with the history and all. No, dude. This is a movie that makes ninjas cool, and you can easily go back to at any point and enjoy because it is
Nice.
badass. Ninjas are actually scary. It's scary in the sense that, man, you not want to fuck with
You don't
these
wanna-
guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't want to be on their radar. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So that's why I'm like, dude, this guy, Chaos actually was watching. He posted he was watching it, and I'm like, I had
Yeah.
it on my list on net because it's on Netflix for the record right now.
Oh, okay. There you go.
And I had it on my list, and I'm like, yes, he's watching it. And I was like, and it made me want to watch it again. And boom, dude, it's just so freaking good. So anyway, best movie I've seen is 2009's Ninja Assassin.
With what was it? A 38 on Rotten Tomatoes, something like
30 something. Fuck that
see?
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
30 something on no, it was Metacritic.
that. Metacritic. Oh, even
Or
worse.
maybe it was Rotten Tomatoes. Who cares? Welcome back, guys. We are going to go into our trailer of the week.
Trailer of the week.
This week's trailer of the week is a little titled called Yesterday.
It's Detective Pikachu. Yeah, there you go. And now the hot topic.
Of course, you will.
No, no.
Not the hot topic. We just skip everything else.
Yes, no news.
Oh, wow.
No, actually, I am glad that you actually mentioned that. This trailer caught me by surprise because I'm not a movie that buff or
Yeah.
that is looking for what's coming up next. I think someone mentioned the idea behind the
Behind-
concept of this movie. Basically, it is what if you suddenly woke up in a world where the Beatles, the music band, never existed.
Never existed.
You
Yep.
know, but you knew all the songs, you knew all the,
Yeah.
all the
You
lyrics.
were a
even
musician
knew
then,
you're a
yeah.
musician. You know how to play, an instrument.
Yesterday, yeah, and play the songs.
And you
well.
can play the
Yeah.
songs. So suddenly, since you're the only person in the in the world, knowing them, you're bringing them, and people start thinking that
Yeah.
that they're yours, that you were the one that wrote them, and that you're making them on the spot. So it looks like it's definitely a very different take on the typical movies that we like to pick. This definitely looks like a romantic movie thrown
Yeah,
in
it's
with
like a romantic comedy
almost
drama.
yeah.
Obviously, the fact that it sounds like a dream, right? If you're a musician and suddenly
I hope that's not that whole thing that
that
suddenly
he's
wakes
dreaming?
up.
Yeah.
That would be like,
obviously.
it has to be something like that. Yeah,
that's I think the only downfall of the
we
film
might
is
have
like,
actually just spoiled the whole
yeah,
movie.
it's like that
hasn't come out.
really, because I don't know. So this isn't the trailer, so it's not a spoiler.
Yeah.
He gets into there's this blackout that
Yeah.
happens worldwide for whatever reason. He gets into an accident as he's riding his bicycle at night because that's smart.
Yeah.
And then and he wakes up, he's missing a tooth. His friend's like, hey, whatever. And then he starts to, his girlfriend buys him a guitar.
Yeah.
He starts to play the song Yesterday. And they just go, oh my God. Yeah. Did you just make that up? That is the most beautiful song I've ever heard. And before you know it, that just leads to everything, right? So it sounds a little bit to me the movie What Women Want. I don't know if you saw that.
I heard about that movie. That's the Mel Gibson one.
Yes.
Which is funny because we actually watched a Mel Gibson trailer.
This is true.
Another one.
And in that one, it's not a dream. It doesn't last forever, but it's not a dream. That's what I think is going to happen here. That's
Yeah.
my thought. It's like, okay, it's
Yeah.
not going to just go back as it never happened. It'll probably revert back,
Yeah.
but obviously maybe he keeps memory. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm curious about it because one, it is by it looks like the writer and director of Slumdog Millionaire, which is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, you should definitely check it out. But anyway, knowing that person's involved, like, you know what? Yes, I'm and I love the Beatles. So a movie that's just going to play nothing but Beatles music.
That sounds
I'm
awesome.
like,
Yes.
that's a dream in itself.
Absolutely.
It's not even a biopic. I'm like, oh,
This
yeah,
is a
why not?
completely different take on
Yeah,
it.
exactly. I'm like, yeah, I'm in. I'm in.
I'm totally
So, yeah.
I'm totally down. I'm totally down.
On a
with that one.
on a smaller note, though, Detective Pikachu.
Yeah. Let's be
Trailer
real,
2
yeah.
came out, and if you don't smile watching this trailer, then you're dead inside.
And this movie is entirely not for you. Congratulations.
Yes. Which, hey, honestly,
I don't care about Pikachu. I don't care about Pokemon at all. And like, I should have actually been the hater on this, and I'm like, oh no,
Yeah.
I'm watching this. This looks
I was like,
hilarious.
I can't even not. I can't.
It's freaking Ryan
Reynolds, yeah,
Ryan
Ryan
Reynolds.
Reynolds,
Yeah, it's freaking him.
Oh my
Dude,
God,
it's
yeah.
freaking Ryan Reynolds.
I just,
Ryan Reynolds.
it's a
That's
shame,
right.
and I'm just like, I don't know why I want to watch this. I just want to do it, guys. I
But
just wanna do
honorable mention to that Mel Gibson movie, Drag to the Concrete.
it. Drag, yes,
That looked interesting. That looked like
it did, and it's from the maker, writer, director. I don't know what, one of those of not Tombstone. Shit, it's called Bone Tomahawk. And that movie is pretty serious, like serious in the fun, in the sense that, I mean, it's one of those, whoa, this is a gritty movie.
Yeah.
So I can see this one being just as
becoming
great.
that, but
What's great about it, which is also great that the other one didn't have, is that the trailer tends to hide a lot of stuff.
That's
so we
great.
watch the trailer and go, okay, but what's happening? You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And it's
couldn't
like
tell.
it's a full length 2-minute trailer. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And you see the stars who are involved. You got Don Johnson. You got Mel
got Vince
Gibson. You got
Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn.
Yeah.
You got a lot of people in this, and then you go, but then you know there's some sort of mafia, maybe. I know they look like cops. I don't know
Yeah.
if they're pretending they cops. There's something going on. You,
you
know
don't
what I mean?
know exactly. You don't know where it's coming from.
The intrigue
really,
is
you know.
there, though. Yeah. So yes. Shout out to that one as well.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's move on into the Mouthfuls Fresh Pick. And there are a lot of games coming out this week, and I'm going to literally fly through them because there's so many of them that I don't know.
Please, I was gonna
So-
say, please tell me, because I can use something to play now.
Well, there is one which I'm going, which is honestly,
Uh-huh.
I'll say it here. So first off, we got this. This is that just came out this week that just passed. First off, Typing Fast came to. This is on Monday. Typing Fast came to PC and Linux. Little Mouse Encyclopedia, also PC and Mac. This is a lot of PC games right here. Super Orb Collector. That sounds like the most
Super
generic.
I think they call it. I think they call it now Crackdown 3.
Crackdown 3.
Yes.
Super Orb Collector. Yes, the PC version.
The
is
PC
called,
version
yeah.
is called
Yeah.
Super Collector.
Swarm Simulator Evolution and Rhythm Overdrive all came to PC on Monday. Tuesday had Dirt Rally 2.0 came to PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC.
You know what? I was actually interested in that one.
2.0 Dirt Rally.
Yes, yeah, because it looks really good. It looks.
Whatever happened to the Dirt Rally series? Is this like a port or?
No, this is
This
going
is a
strong.
new
This is a
one.
new
Okay.
one. This
Oh,
is a new,
okay.
and it went strong, especially with the thing of VR. And I believe there is a Dirt Rally VR
VR
version
thing,
that you can grab on PlayStation 4. Oh, PlayStation VR. But the problem that I have with this one is this is what turned me off completely from
Oh,
buying
boy.
it was
EA. No.
Well, no,
Yeah.
no. This is Codemasters, and I don't know who else is publishing, but it is the always online for no
Oh, for the
freaking reason.
love.
For no
That's-
reason.
yep,
I
then
mean,
you don't
if you
get my
tell
money.
me, don't get me wrong. If you tell me this is online because it's like Forza Horizon, for example, even though I will argue that it really doesn't need it, but at least you could play offline.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know the extent of the online here, but if it's the online or if you're not online, you cannot play, then fuck that.
Yeah.
I'm not even
That's
I'm not even
just
gonna touch
the
it.
most annoying thing.
Yeah.
Like, especially if you're just playing a single player portion of it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
exactly.
It's like, come on, guys. The Walking Vegetables Radical Edition comes to PlayStation 4.
Radishes
This is
edition.
Radishes Edition.
That's what it is.
Well, when I saw the Walking Vegetables, I was thinking, oh, so this is the vegetarian
Walking Dead?
Yeah.
Ah,
okay.
there
Makes
you
sense,
go.
right? Remy Lore, Lost Girl in the Land of Lore. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, PlayStation 4.
That's a
PC, and
mouthful.
Switch. Yeah. 8-Bit Invaders comes to PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. The Lego Movie 2 video game comes to everything.
Of course.
Trails Rising, PlayStation 4, Xbox
No,
One,
isn't it
PC.
Trials?
It says Trails. Look at the very top.
Hold on. At the very top, Trails.
This is from
Is that misspelled
Kotaku.
or is that actually the name of the game? And I have always thought that it was Trials. I always thought it was Trials.
Well, I know Trials
Trials is the one with the
is
motorcycle.
the motorcycle, but
Yeah.
that's already out. Why would that suddenly have a release?
But it's called that. Is it Rising?
Rising, yeah.
Yeah,
That's already
That's a
out.
misspell. Then that's a misspell.
That's a misspell? Okay, so
Yeah,
Trials Rising.
it is
Fucking
Trials.
Kotaku. Get this shit right.
Learn how to spell
Zach
Kotaku.
Zuijin from Kotaku.
You gotta call him out?
It's I'm calling him out. Although, poor guy, it was probably a freaking typo.
I mean, come
know
on.
what?
Let's be,
Yeah.
that never happens on the mouthful.
Yeah, all the time.
Podcast.
Bootcast, indeed. Sky Hill comes to Switch. Stellaris Console Edition comes to PlayStation 4 and Xbox One.
They're bringing Solaris. I didn't even know.
The console edition, yes, that's true. Rod Rogers World 1 coming to Switch. Time Travel VR comes to VR. The Steam and Oculus Rift, not PlayStation 4. And Radical Rec comes to PC. Wednesday shows Hades Star comes to PC and Mac, excuse me. War Tile comes to PlayStation 4. Deponia Doomsday comes to PlayStation 4. These names, Jesus Christ. Thursday, Anodyne comes to Switch.
Maybe there are a lot of games. We're worrying about not enough games, and maybe
It's just
There-
this is an onslaught of games.
Yes.
This is like you're never. I mean, all right. Let's back up real quick, guys. War Tile came
Yeah.
to PlayStation 4. Who is playing War Tile?
War Tile.
I don't even know what it is. I'm pretty
No,
sure it's like
I-
a tabletop game or some shit. But now here is what's going to probably be my fresh pick. Ape Out comes to PC and Switch.
What is that?
Ape Out is basically your Hotline Miami version of Escape Gorilla. You play an escape gorilla and you literally are busting your way out of shit. And a top down view, just like Ape Out, just like a Hotline Miami. Also very graphic, but very stylish too.
Yeah.
And there is somebody involved, which I think you know, which will definitely make that a thing that you want to. But you may want to pick that up, sir. I was going to wait for
Alright.
PlayStation 4 version because it's only coming to Switch and PC, and I'm not doing PC because fuck that shit. But since I'm planning to get a Switch soon, again, I know I've said this a million times. I get it.
If you know, I mean, if you're never gonna do the PC because fuck that shit, even though you own a PC,
Exactly.
then at least have the decency
To buy a Switch.
to buy a
damn it.
Switch.
Oh man.
Make it a prio. Because apparently I'm too lazy to abbreviate priority.
Priority, yes. Crash Dummy comes to Switch. Batloon comes to PC and Switch. Space War Arena comes to Switch. Paranoia Deliver Me comes to PC. Flashback comes to PC and Mac. Finally, on Friday, which was today, we have Toe Jam and Earl back in the groove. PlayStation 4, Xbox
Oh,
One,
shoot.
PC, and Switch.
No Sega Genesis, huh?
No Sega Genesis on this one.
Oh, man.
Dead or Alive 6 comes to PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC.
I was kind of shocked that
Yeah.
to see that was still happening.
I
Dead or
know.
Alive 6, which is of the fighting games. It's I like.
It's not even good. It's not even good.
No, actually,
Is it an Evo?
no, that's what I was gonna say. I was
yeah.
gonna say it's very B tier. You know,
Yes.
almost throwing towards C, but it's not because it's badly made. Because the game is actually like at some point. I'm trying to compare with
Yes, those
with a
physics
few-
are amazing. I'm just saying.
You're talking about you're thinking about boot.
Hey,
boot
that's
physics.
the only thing the game is known for, sir. At least, yeah.
They brought it. They well anyway. The
Jesus
all I
Christ.
know is that it used to be like that game. They used to be on the level of Virtual Fighter and
Yeah.
Tekken and all those type of games. And then it kind of fell back, probably or surely
Thanks to the
because of
volleyball
the-
editions, yes, that's what.
Yeah,
did it for
because
them.
of Extreme Volleyball. And
we all know how good that stuff is.
yes, we
Volleyball,
do.
guys. Volleyball. Just talking about the volleyball sport.
Hey, of
Just
course,
saying.
yes.
Get your minds out the gutters. Dawn of Man comes to PC. Crash Dummy comes to PlayStation 4 on Friday. It came out early in the week. Treasure Stack, Xbox, PC, and Switch. Story of the Green Dragon comes to PC and Mac. That's the story of marijuana, just in case you didn't know.
Okay.
And finally,
real?
no. Puff the Magic Dragon. There
There you go. Yeah, no, I was like, oh shit, they're finally making a game.
Finally, Saturday has releases for some strange reason.
Really?
Yes. Switch has Riddled Corpses EX, and then Mind Skies comes to PC. The fresh pick, guys, seriously, if you haven't seen it, we'll post a trailer up on the post of this. Ape Out.
Yeah.
Coming to Switch and PC. You guys got to get it. You guys got to do it. And that's it.
Yeah, yeah.
what you do.
That was a game I was looking at. That I was looking at a trailer, and it looked like you say very stylish and interesting. It just for some reason I didn't expect that it was gonna be that was gonna be great. You know,
I mean, it's a Hotline Miami. Literally, what is Hotline Miami? It's this small little title, quick, got good music, got good gameplay.
that great music.
Yeah,
you know,
and
that
that's
graphics you could call them stylish, but they're super low. You know,
Yeah,
super
but
low
they're still
res.
stylish for
But-
what they
No,
are,
no,
yeah.
they are. They managed to do a lot with what it is.
Correct.
So, yeah.
I agree. I 100% agree. All right, guys, let's move in to some news items.
News.
And the news to abuse was
gotta
the title of this particular segment.
We gotta stop
And-
calling it that.
I'm going to start, guys, with the free games for March for both PlayStation and Xbox One. Starting with the
That's a good place to
PlayStation.
Start, yeah.
Believe it or not, there's only 2 games. No more PlayStation 3
Whoa.
or Vita games.
But what are 2 games did they give you?
They
huh?
did give you 2 major games. PlayStation 4 is going to be getting Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered.
There you go. For free.
Arguably the best Call of Duty
Yeah.
since Call of Duty.
It's called, I happen to agree.
Yeah. And then finally, The Witness, which is a puzzle game for the ages, guys.
Also very, very, very good title.
I played that game, played it to completion, and I swear I was seeing lines in my sleep. So just the way it was, unfortunately. Excuse me. And then finally, for Xbox Games with Gold, Xbox One will get Adventure Time RPG, excuse me, which will be available from March 1st to the 31st. Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2 from March 16th through the April 15th.
Which I hear is really good.
I hear it's very good, yes.
Yeah.
It is EA, but it is very good. And then, of course, those are Xbox One title. And then for Xbox, which is also available for Xbox 360, which is also available backwards compatible, you have Star Wars Republic Commando from March 15th to the 15th.
Oh,
First
wow.
through the
Republic
15th.
Commando. That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of old already.
It's
yeah.
very old, yes.
Yeah.
First person shooter from way back. And then, of course, the brilliant action spin-off Metal Gear Rising coming to... This is from March 16th through the 31st. Again, backwards compatible with the One.
One of the those platinum
Platinum
game gems that I haven't beaten.
That I've never played.
And it's not because it was bad or anything like that. It was just, well, it relies very strongly on parrying, and I don't like parrying in video games. I don't like anything that it has to do with like specific timings like that.
See, I understand what you mean, but here's the beauty of parrying. When you parry, especially if you're playing against someone, when you parry somebody, oh, you know what? Perfect example.
Yeah.
Dead or Alive.
Yeah.
Dead or Alive has a parry.
Yeah.
Which at least the old ones. I haven't played Dead or Alive in a while, but
this one.
Dead or Alive has a parry. I cannot express to you how awesome it is to parry somebody in the midst of their combo and just turn the tables on them.
Yeah.
It is such a satisfying feeling. In single player games, same exact thing. It's just this thing where it can literally save you in really good games. It can literally save you. Perfect example, Bloodborne. Was it Bloodborne? I think Bloodborne had like a parry thing as well.
Bloodborne was heavy on parrying because he didn't have a shield.
Because you have a shield. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. Yeah. And that was so satisfying to unleash it at that moment when you're trying to get it. You know you can get it. You know it's not you got it by accident. You literally timed it right because you knew you could, and you get it. And it's so satisfying. I get it. Doesn't work all the time, and that can be frustrating. But man, when you finally get that timing down,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
dude,
I
it's
can
gaming at
see
its
it.
best.
I can see the appeal. It's just for some reason anything that requires very specific timing. I mean, it like it's not my thing. I'm not saying it's bad
your
or anything
jam.
like that, but it's not my jam. Yeah, exactly. Also, fishing. I don't like fishing in video games, and I don't like horse riding. Horse riding.
You just don't like virtual horses. That's
No,
what you're
I
wrong.
don't like virtual fishes.
Let me tell you about an awesome horse called Brooch.
No. So,
He
Star Wars.
comes from the land of
Jedi, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order will finally be revealed on April 13th. So mark your calendars because I am excited to hear about this one.
I'm
Even
excited to see what it's about because we haven't seen anything. From
We haven't seen anything exactly. Yeah, and to be honest, this is as much as I expect. Nothing more than probably just some teaser, you know.
This is so to be fair, to be completely, or rather to be specific. This is the who's making this? I know it's EA, but who's the
well, that's the part that I'm excited about. Even though it's EA, is being developed by Respawn.
Respawn?
Entertainment.
Thank you. I was just like, wait a minute. I think okay.
Yes. They might have actually. You might have heard about them.
Yes.
They released an awesome
Construction
shooter.
simulator,
Yeah,
yes.
it's called Titanfall 2, to be more specific.
Oh, you're talking about their previous game? Yes. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and they did a battle royale called Apex Legend. I don't know. It's
I don't
probably
know. It's that construction simulation.
yeah. So my phone just kicked me out. Okay, here we go. Damn it, he did it again. God bless America.
iPhones. I'm just saying.
So Respawn Entertainment will give everyone a look at Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order during Star Wars Celebration. Shit, this is so badly written. During Star Wars Celebration Chicago in April. Apparently, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Okay. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order will finally be unveiled during the Star Wars Celebration, like we said, on April 13. This is usually a venue EA uses to reveal its Star Wars title. So the news isn't too shocking, of course, but it's welcome nevertheless. According to a tweet that said, "Did you hear? Hashtag Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order will be at hashtag Star Wars Celebration Chicago," and this was from EA themselves.
Oh,
so
wow.
I don't know. Did you hear
No.
that we are actually
Yeah.
letting you know? So stupid.
Yeah.
Fucking EA. According to the tweet, the reveal will take place during the panel featuring new details ahead of the game's fall of 2019 release. Yeah, that's not happening.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Yeah.
that
it's
is not happening.
It's going to be February of 2020.
Yes, exactly. Oh, that I would say, yeah. Realistically, yes. But this is Respawn, so they actually gonna probably ship a complete game. Hopefully, if they haven't been tainted enough. Hey,
Yeah.
Titanfall. They did it with Titanfall 2.
Yeah.
Titanfall 2 was a fucking complete game.
I agree, but right now
With everything
EA
is single and it's
reeling.
multiplayer.
EA is real. Well, and we're not going to get into that right now. EA is like, damn it, we need a hit, guys.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying.
That's true. So rumors from last year state the game will arrive on shelves in November, and that the story will take place 5 years after the events of the Revenge of the Sith. Respawn previously announced that Jedi Fallen Order story is set between episodes 3 and 4. So yeah, I'm looking forward this because even though they are still under the EA handle, I feel like Respawn, like they have demonstrated, before that they have the chops to create, to create a good title. Even the original Titanfall, I was there with, even though it didn't have single player or anything like that, it was not planned to have single player. From what I recall, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think the single player was cut out. I think this was just like, hey, this is our idea. The single player is gonna be built into the multiplayer, and it might have not worked exactly like we would have preferred, but they tried it nevertheless, and it was a polished title.
Yeah.
And then on comes Titanfall 2, and they deliver again a very polished title. And these are people that have already demonstrated that they can deliver something polished, like when they were back with Activision, doing the Call of Duty. The Call of Duty that we're gonna be getting for free in February.
The remaster.
For PSN. Exactly.
Which I'm so glad.
Which
Because anyway, we're not talking about Call of Duty, but the fact is, I was never going to buy Call of Duty, whatever it was, to get that game. And I never played Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and this was like the best version of it. The story, at least story wise. I guess multiplayer will probably be involved as well, but
but who cares about that?
Exactly.
Who plays
Who
Call of
gives
Duty
a
for
shit?
its multiplayer?
Yeah. Who are the 20 million people? That play
Exactly.
That, right?
What planet?
Yeah.
Come on.
That's what I'm saying.
But yeah, like I said, to finalize is that I do want to see, like, God knows, EA has not delivered a single decent Star Wars game in this whole time. And yet Disney is happy with the arrangement. Whatever. We're not going to talk
They're
about
making
that.
money off it. So I don't give a shit.
So I want to see what this is, and I'm hoping that it is, that it is good, and yeah, man.
All right. Speaking of Respawn.
Respawn.
Yes, respawning on Respawn. Since Respawn Entertainment released Apex Legends, Battle Royale fans have been abuzz about the game's thoughtful communication options. With the press of a button, you can simply look at an object and tell your Apex teammates exactly what they need to know about their environment without needing a microphone at all. And now Fortnite's got it too.
Of course they do.
Of course they do. Talking about aping someone. So early this morning, this was Thursday morning, Epic Games launched Fortnite's Pirate Theme Season 8, which includes map updates such as new locations as well as another mode of transportation called Volcano Vents. Epic also teased players that there will be a variety of secret hiding places in the update. So far, that's all stuff fans can expect from the new season, but the most surprising inclusion has to be a brand new feature that will look very familiar to anyone who has played Apex. As showcased below in YouTube, this is from TMarTN, YouTuber, and I'll share this with everybody. You can now point at an area or objects and interest in the map, highlight them for your teammates. Very similar to the ping system from Apex. Ping system is going to be a godsend in modes that require teamwork, obviously, but there's still something similar, or rather something surprising about the timing and speed of this new mechanic.
I have to give him that.
Yeah,
The
Apex,
speed, that was Epic in full fucking panic mode and just putting all the resources into it. And congratulations, they actually managed to get it done.
They did.
Because, I mean, something like that, I would imagine that it requires a level of testing,
I'm sure.
a level of,
There's going to require many things. I don't recall. What, did the players say anything? Like the actual players in the game? I haven't played Fortnite so long, so I don't know. Did they actually say anything, or they were pretty quiet?
They were quiet for
They were
all I
quiet.
remember.
So that means you have
so
to-
we're going to have voices now?
I guess. I don't know. I don't recall them saying anything. Guys,
Yeah.
let us know. I'm pretty sure they were pretty dull.
Vocal, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, they probably were vocal. We just never paid attention because.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
yeah.
Maybe that's what it is.
But
Who gives
hey,
a shit?
if
Apex
it-
Legend is better.
Of scientific fact. But I was going to say, if, yeah, sure, it's kind of funny, make fun of, you're aping Apex Legend. But then again, yeah, but Apex Legend is aping Fortnite and PUBG, in the genre. But
So-
now the point that I want to make is, it's good if it's gonna bring. This is the moment where two major players in the battle royale arena are gonna be bringing what we call bringing new stuff and
This
and
is-
innovating like that.
This is very smart on them.
Yeah.
And I'm not a Fortnite player, so I don't really give a shit. But you know what? You can't just rest on your laurels. You have to keep things going, keep it fresh, keep people really wanting to come back. And this may seem like a small addition, but we already know by playing Apex to say, whoa, this is such a great system.
It's
and
a
for
game
them
changer.
and for them to implement that so quickly into Fortnite, that's to say, hey guys, don't go anywhere. We got this.
Yeah.
And for those who are obviously into Fortnite, I mean, you got to be happy about this. You know what I mean? It's like, oh man,
Yeah.
that system that we were actually liking over here, boom, they have it here. So
Yeah.
kudos to them.
Yeah, it'll be it's definitely cool to see some innovation happening
Yeah.
in that area. So the FTC,
Federal Trade Commission.
the Federal Trade Commission, yes, is holding a public workshop on loot boxes later this year.
Oh dear Lord.
So the United States Federal Trade Commission has revealed its intention to hold they call it a public workshop to discuss the matter of loot boxes in video games. Variety reports, according to a letter sent by FTC Commission Chairman Joseph Simmons, the FTC plans to host a public workshop on the subject of loot boxes later this year. Simmons' letter was sent out to Senator Maggie Hassan, who previously called upon the ESRB to investigate whether loot boxes were being marketed, quote, in an ethical and transparent way, end quote. Hassan has sent the chairman a letter last month hoping for an update on the FTC's investigation. Unfortunately, Simmons didn't say whether the FTC will be legally investigating loot boxes or name those involved if a government agency were to open one. You know, if there was suddenly a government body to investigate loot boxes. And then the quote from Simmons says, "I share your concerns about loot boxes, but I cannot address your specific questions about any non-public law enforcement efforts," Simmons' letter reads, according to a copy obtained by Variety. "We're currently planning a public workshop on loot boxes for later this year as a non-law enforcement option. A workshop could provide a forum for stakeholders representing wide-ranging perspective, including consumer advocacy organizations, parents groups, and industry members. It also could help elicit information of guide subsequent consumer outreach, which could include a consumer alert." So this is
The first steps.
This is exactly.
Yeah.
This is something that I honestly don't know. I'm of two minds on it, because as much I don't like the idea, of course, of government regulation on
Anything.
on anything. Yeah, well, it's not that it's anti-government. I'm not trying to portray that. What I'm trying to
I know
say
what
is
you
that
mean.
it's usually handled by people that do not really understand the business,
what they're regulating.
and usually they're in their efforts to regulate, they go to extremes.
yeah,
but
that's
that's
at the detriment of the industry.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But at the same time, I don't want the proliferation of loot boxes to continue to where it becomes this. It becomes the cancer that gaming has had to deal with for the last few years, because and the reason why you see a lot of games being stripped of content just so that they could have something to offer you, as a bonus
As an
on
incentive,
opening
yeah.
a chest, So yeah, good for them, I guess. They're saying non-law enforcing talks, I guess.
Yeah.
They're just gonna hear.
That's
Hear,
great.
but
Well, we'll see.
yes,
We'll listen first and then act later.
yes.
My next piece, Horizon Zero Dawn,
Oh,
celebrated its second birthday. This was on yesterday. With this announcement, it also sold well over 10 million copies since its February 2017 launch,
damn,
placing
son.
it in the company of Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which has also hit 8 figures sales in similar time. That is quite a return for Guerrilla Games, whose wagon had been hitched to Killzone franchise that last published with the PlayStation 4's launch. Horizon Zero Dawn is the Sony Studios' first new intellectual property since Killzone,
Yep.
though 2013's Killzone Shadowfall did sell well, selling over 2 million copies in its first 2 months.
It was a launch title, right?
It was a launch title,
So
yes.
it's kind of
Yeah,
expected.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
It's basically picking up with the movement of the consoles,
Yeah.
essentially,
Yeah.
on PlayStation blog, Guerrilla Games share highlights from the game's development and launch. Horizon Zero Dawn was first announced in E3 2015. Guerrilla began work on it way back in 2011 and first mentioned the project in 2014. So I want to say kudos to Guerrilla Games. First off, one, for daring to literally break out of the box
Yep.
and say, we want to do something different. Kudos to whoever at Sony said, you know what, guys, fine, do what you want to do, right? Because obviously you are a studio owned by that company. They can say, no, motherfucker, we need you to keep making Killzone. You know, they didn't say that. They said, you know what, that's fine. Do the Shadowfall,
Yeah.
but yes, work on the thing that you want to do. And then on top of that, also kudos to Guerrilla for developing the Decima engine, that is
Yeah.
currently being used in
Death Stranding.
Death Stranding, thank
Yeah.
you. So obviously that engine was powerful enough and very intuitive enough that even Kojima-san was like, "Woo, yeah, I'll use that."
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm like, so obviously what I love about the story is this is the highest selling title that the Guerrilla Games has ever done, and they've been so focused on this other. And I don't think Killzone's dead by any way, but my God, is it in the back burner right now?
Yeah,
You know, it's like, yeah, we'll get back to that.
Yeah,
You
it's
know?
kind of like, you know what? You guys don't need to. That's
Yeah.
fine. You
So-
already found your new mascot.
Correct.
I would
So,
say.
I mean, again, kudos to Sony, and hopefully kudos to all other major players in the game. Maybe they can look at this and say, you know what? Maybe it's okay if we foster some of this creativity, if we just let them do a passion project, because
Yeah.
sometimes that passion that just comes right through in the game and it just shines. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And that's what this game is. But that's why that was my game of the year that year, because it was like,
Yeah.
nope, this is amazing. I cannot give it to anything else because of all those aspects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the same
Whatever.
year of Nier.
Yeah.
Of
Who gives a
Nier,
shit about Nier
Automata. But I have to
Whatever.
I have to appreciate the fact that if it wasn't for Nier Automata, Horizon Zero Dawn, it was a fantastic game of that year. Also the year that Doom was out. Anyway,
No, that was 2016.
that was 2016. That's right. Okay. So Nier Automata for the win. Speaking of
Jesus.
and also in the spirit of congratulating studios that develop that passion project,
Passion project.
and their companies that allows them to pursue those original paths to bring us new stuff. So Halo's boss says Infinite is a spiritual reboot, and also talks about Battle Royale and why it didn't make it to Halo 5.5.
Oh, God.
Oh, wait a minute. That's right. 343 is going to be the Halo machine forever. I mean, it's
Sir,
literally in the name.
yeah.
They cannot do anything
Yeah,
else.
that's right.
Because, yeah.
Unfortunate.
Disclaimer, I do like the Halos, but not the latest one
There's
so
nothing
much.
wrong with that. I mean, come on now.
Exactly. I mean, come on
There's
now.
nothing wrong with liking Halo. I
Yeah.
mean, I think if I'm not mistaken, I remember hearing, this was a while ago, but maybe that's true. Halo 2, like multiplayer, is still a thing to
Yeah.
today, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
mean
crazy.
that's a dude. What other game outside of like WoW or anything like that? What other game has that long time of a service going?
That's true. That's true. I mean, Master Chief Collection, if it would have been not broken.
Well, obviously that was shit. So.
As part of a wide-ranging new interview, 343 Industry boss Bonnie Ross spoke candidly about Halo's Infinite and what Microsoft wants to achieve with this Xbox One and PC game. She also responded to the Battle Royale phenomenon and confirmed that Halo Infinite will be at E3 at 2019. You thought I was going to say and confirm that Battle Royale is happening on Halo. Well, we all know that's
It's happening, yeah.
of course.
That's
I mean,
happening.
because Battle Royale,
I
come
call
on,
it.
guys. Of course. Of
100
course.
Master Chiefs.
Of course. 100 Master Chiefs.
Yep.
Which has happened before already, except that it's not 100. It's like 10 and 10 blue and
Red
10
versus
red.
blue, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Starting off, Ross told IGN, Halo Infinite is a spiritual reboot of the Halo franchise, whatever that means. After the struggles of the Halo, the Master Chief Collection, and shortcomings related to Halo 4 and Halo 5, Ross says 343 took a step back to better consider what Halo Infinite should be. I believe Halo Infinite is not Halo 6. I do believe that.
They've said that it is, isn't it?
Well, it almost feels like it's not, I mean, it should be in the sense that they already
so-
started something,
So here's what I think it is.
but it's probably not.
Here's what I think it is. Because it's not technically Halo 6, it's definitely technically the next Halo.
Right.
So what I think it is, and I hate to say this, but I think this means this is going to be the reason the reason it's called Infinite is because this is a game they're going to try to build off of for years. So yes, I unfortunately think that this is
Don't say it. Don't say the word.
Unfortunately, a game ass as game service game. I know. I hate to be the one.
That's it.
It's okay.
That's it. That is it. I am no longer. I'm no longer a Halo fan. This is where I hang my habit. I'm not doing it anymore.
I'm sorry to be the one to say.
Oh my God. There has been a lot of introspective time to really reflect on what we have done as 343, where we have made mistakes, where we have hit it right, and what does Halo means to all of us. Says Ross, Halo Infinite is coming from a place of what does Halo mean to all of us. The trailer that we did at E3, that's what Halo means to the studio. Maybe it took us 2 games to get it there. We've done good things and bad things, but what does Halo mean to us? It's about hope and wonder and heroism and humanity and community and bringing community together. That's what the trailer is, and that's what we want to do with Halo Infinite. Really, guys? That 2-second trailer, you got all of that out of that trailer? Because if that's the case, I'm kind of worried for the future of the Halo franchise then.
I'm telling you.
No, but you know what? I'm going to cut this short because he does look... I thought it was going to have a little bit more information on it. I was trying to see where they mention anything about... they say that the Halo TV show is still coming up. I'm trying to see if there's anything on the Battle Royale. But, okay. Here we go. She this is in the interview that Ross had with IGN. She praises Respawn for Apex Legends and said that the game feels more like Halo than Fortnite, which could be a clue to Microsoft's plans for Halo Infinite. But will Halo Infinite have Battle Royale? And the quote is, "We had conversation all the times about what's the right thing to do," she said, adding that the sandbox nature of Halo's multiplayer allows for lots of different game modes, potentially including Battle Royale. So right now, it's pure speculation. Battle Royale is the big hit. It's difficult. It's difficult to fathom a multiplayer without it. Not nowadays, right? So even though it's probably gonna go the way of, when Dota was the big thing, right? I mean, and it still is, let's say, but there was a time where there was a lot of Dota type games, that's where you had Heroes of the Storm from Blizzard, which even though it's still going strong, you might as well say that it kind of failed on what it on accomplishing. It didn't meet the expectations, I would say. I forgot the other games, but games of that genre of Dota like titles that were once big, but then everybody started doing it, and at the end of the day, there was just not enough space. Eventually everybody just kept on playing Dota and playing League of Legends. That was the other one that
yes.
League of Legends. Same thing with Hearthstone. You see Gwent, you see the actual Magic the Gathering. There's a game that came out based on Magic the Gathering, and even that. It was from the creator of Magic the Gathering, that game that he was working for Valve. This the next game from the creators of Half-Life, and no one cares.
No one, yeah.
Why? We already have Gwent. We already have Hearthstone.
Games, yeah.
So that's where I'm afraid things might end up going with Battle Royale games, where too many. There's going to be too many titles of that sort, and not enough player base. Because it's not enough to have a few players. You have to have all the gamers, or most of it. You have to have a big I can't imagine. Right now, nobody expected. Of course, it's not to say that it's impossible because nobody expected Apex Legends to take away from Fortnite. I mean, Fortnite's still first. Fortnite's still king for now. But to think about a contender to freaking Fortnite was like, yeah, right, whatever. And yet, we're seeing it. You know.
True, but I can still. I mean, I would still say that there are smaller communities that thrive that don't need to be. I think it comes down to what the publisher or whoever the big money person is
There you
expecting.
nailed it.
Because,
There you nailed it.
like right now, you have Warframe. Warframe is something that's being handled by an independent company. They don't. I mean, they have a big community. Don't get me wrong. However, is it Fortnite levels? No. Is it PUBG levels? No. Has Apex probably passed them? Probably. But it doesn't matter. They keep rolling on. They keep releasing
making
content
money.
because they know where their niche is. They're filling that particular niche and they're doing it well.
Yeah.
And they listen to their community. They give updates. They do everything they can to keep that community going. And yes, that community is smaller than the other ones, but it's not going anywhere.
Right.
You know, and I think that's what Ubisoft has learned as well with their games. Like, what's the Siege. Rainbow Six Siege.
yeah.
You have the other one, For Honor.
For Honor,
You
yeah.
have these games that, yes, those communities are small, but as long as Ubisoft, the company itself, looks and says it's okay that it's this, as long as it's continuous, as long as we keep them there and they're constant, and we keep them happy because we're making content. We're not just doing nothing. You know, we have reason for them to keep coming back. That's actually good for them. But when you have companies. This is why I fear for a little bit for Apex, because yes, it had this huge launch, and yes, if it was not on EA's radar, in the sense that they let them do whatever they want. All right, if you want to release it, whatever, it's free to play. We'll see whatever. We'll see what happens. But now that it's at 25 something million users, it's like, oh, now this is
time for
very,
EA to cash a check now.
Yeah, EA is
Yeah.
okay. Well, hey, let's get that going. And now with Epic being as quick as fucking possible to say, all right, we gotta do it, guys. Whatever they're doing, we gotta match it. We gotta do it, whatever, because we're not gonna lose it. And if they cap out at 25 million and never really move the needle from there, EA being EA may go, yeah, it's not really making the money we were hoping for them. Even though probably they had literally zero expectations.
Yeah.
But the problem is, that's what it comes down to. That company wants to see more and more and more and more coming in, and if that's what they want, then Apex is going to go away. If other big companies, like for instance, like what happened with Bungie, it's like you had this. I know we're kind of spilling into a little bit of the
No, that's fine.
topic
That's
here,
fine, yeah.
but you know what I'm saying. What happens with them is they were like, you know what, you're not hitting the numbers, and even though they're making good numbers, even though they have their community, you're not hitting the numbers. We're done with this, or we're out, or whatever happened, the split between Bungie and Activision. So stuff like that, where you realize, man, if you just let it just grow, even if it's small, or maybe it just stays there at a consistent 20, 25, 30 million users. That's fine, dude. What else do you want? Like I say, as long as you have that community, that's the best part of it. You know what I mean? So I think it comes down to, that's why I agree with what you're saying. At the same time, like, there are other ones that don't have to hit those levels and still they can survive. I mean, Warframe is a perfect example. I can't think of anything else more awesome than Warframe, in the sense where that was a solid 6 when it came out, and now it is.
Or can
like
you really think about anything else? Because I think you hit it in the nail. The fact that, yes, it is going to be very dependent on the publisher, regardless of how well the studio might think their game is doing. Because look at Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah.
Heroes of the Storm,
Which was doing fine
it
from
was,
what I was
it was doing fine.
Yeah, yeah.
It was not, you didn't know it as League of Legends or Dota.
No.
But Activision wanted it to be that. And because it didn't become that, now they're cutting off on a lot of the support and thing, and they're not doing anymore the grand the tournaments, and stuff.
Just a huge
anymore.
portion of gaming community gone.
Yeah,
because it's like, you know what, this is not performing
work.
to what,
And also that's the reason I'm concerned about, let's say, a Halo coming out with a battle royale. Well, it better bring it.
I think it's going to be more of a server. Honestly, I think the next Halo is going to be a Destiny.
Yeah.
That's actually what I think it's going to be.
Yeah, for sure. And I was like dreading you were gonna say it, but it's in the fucking game. It's in the name.
It is so, yeah.
It is so in the name. It's so in the nose that
yeah.
it's like, come on. This is meant to be the Halo that you're gonna be playing infinitely. Why?
Yeah.
Because
we're gonna give you updates. We're gonna give you
forget about
seasons.
finishing the second trilogy. Who cares? That was not going anywhere.
You
this
guys
is gonna
hated it
be-
anyway. Be real.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
guys didn't like the romance,
Yeah.
the romance between Master Chief and
Cortana.
the hologram,
Yeah.
the hologram lady.
Yeah.
So, and besides, we're using that name for for our mobile devices and for our
Exactly.
computer, for our Windows program. Anyway, my concern is the reason why I feel like Apex Legend was able to take a chunk out of Fortnite's player base,
Which it did.
which it did,
Yeah.
is because it was not enough. It was not about just releasing a freaking battle royale. I mean, shit. They're just finding out that, hey, the information and the whole map of Apex was leaked a year ago, and no one gave a fuck. No one cared. No one
Nope.
bat an eye on it.
Nope.
Because whatever. I'm busy playing Fortnite.
Yep.
So the reason why Apex became big was because it was not just a battle royale, but it tightened on those things. It tightened up on those things that were a little annoying on the battle royale, which was the typical, okay, now I have to go to a lobby and now I have to wait, everything. So it fixed that, and it improved in certain aspects, like the pointing, the
ping.
point, the pinging system, yeah, and even the jumping with your buddy, with your buddy.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you're gonna be the jump master. We're all three we're gonna land on this section, and all of that made it
not
for
a-
a much
not-
better experience.
Yeah, not only that, and again, I haven't played Fortnite in a while, so I don't know if this is included, but stuff that's on by the way, I believe there was a interview where they asked about respawning in Fortnite, and it's sort of, they implied it's in the works. You know what I mean? So
And probably what's in the word.
the respawning in Fortnite, because
respawning
there's no
is
respawn. If you're dead, you're dead.
Oh, okay, gotcha,
But
yeah.
obviously, there's a way in Apex to bring your buddies back.
Yeah.
Which, by the
Gotcha.
way, side note,
Hilarious.
okay, I played Apex the other day. I was playing it with Chaos and Mrs. Chaos, Mrs. Reaper,
Oh shit.
and it was the three of us, and we were playing. And they got eliminated. And let me tell you, it's the most satisfying thing to take out the two that killed them, and then go get their banners and then run to the thing and then bring them back. And I felt like the best hero ever. You know, it's like, and let me tell you, I was playing like shit up until this point. All right? And I in this one area, I got those 2 kills, which I don't think I've ever got 2 kills. And I don't play. This is literally this playing with them was probably my 3rd time ever playing.
yeah.
So obviously I'm very behind in it anyway, but.
That's amazing though.
Yeah, it was so
Tell me
much
of
fun.
a moment where you felt like that in Fortnite. I mean, it feels
No.
good to
No,
win
I
the
can't think
game,
of
to win a
anything.
game, or in PUBG to win a chicken dinner, right?
Yeah.
But that's it, right? You don't have
This has-
the gameplay to gameplay moment.
Correct. This has certain moments, like using the cable that goes all the way up just to make it to jump past the wall that's
Yeah.
already closing in. You know what I mean? These are small little victories that it's like, man, this is so cool.
You don't need to be a champion to feel like a winner.
To feel like a winner. Yeah.
Yeah.
And even better, your little specials that you had, I still use the main character. I can't remember her name now, but I still use the same character. She has the smoke grenade that goes out.
Yeah. I'm
and
blanking on the names
Bangalore
also.
or something like that.
Yeah.
And that's so cool to lay down cover for your peoples who are
Yeah.
like, if they're trying to revive someone, you just hey, revive because they can't see you, so you're in the smoke. You know what I mean? And it's stuff like that helps. You know what I'm like? And dude, anyway, sidebar over. I just wanted to throw that out because I had a fun time doing it.
And besides, the best thing, different side hitboxes. So depending on your character,
Yeah.
if you play a big character, then you get shot more.
Yeah, which makes sense, right?
Wait a minute. Maybe that's not the way he was meant to go.
Maybe not. My last piece is a little bit of news of the weird, guys. Probably a few months back.
That's what we should be calling. Instead of news to abuse, we should start calling it the news of the weird.
News of the weird. This one is weird. A few months back, I mentioned that China is going to have a social credit score system.
Oh, yeah.
Do you recall this?
I recall this.
Yes. Well, apparently, China banned people from buying plane and train tickets 23 million times last year because of their social credit scores were too low.
Oh my God! Wow.
Which this is from the Associated Press, which obtained a copy of the government report. Government rolled out the travel ban on people with low credit scores last May. So
Low
that's not
social
even the
credit
whole
score.
year.
Wow.
According to a report from China's National Public Credit Information Center from last week, people have been blocked 17.5 million times from purchasing plane tickets, 5.5 million times for purchasing high-speed train tickets. These people have become discredited for unspecified behavior crimes.
You don't even know what you did.
You have
wrong.
no clue.
Damn.
Yeah, there is a way of, because there's a public blacklist that you can actually go
Wow.
look at for those found guilty of crimes, and you can actually see. So I just bring this up because I know I brought it up before. It's just a weird thing that happened, and not only is it happening, man, is it happening. China was on my list to visit. I so desperately want to go China because first of all, I'm a huge foodie and I love fucking food. And China, like real Chinese food, I cannot. Oh, it's on my list. I'm a little bit bummed because I'm like, nope.
Yeah,
Nope,
that
I don't know.
sounds
I don't know.
like-
I don't know what's gonna happen to me. I may never come back. It is still technically a communist country, so
Well,
well.
that's my concern. I'm actually traveling to Cuba in May, God willing, and I'm concerned because there are a lot of things that we already take for granted here that are not there. Cuba is still a communist country.
it is also a
so-
third world country. So,
Yes,
yeah. There's
exactly.
stuff like air conditioning that you may not see the whole time you're there. So,
Exactly,
yeah.
exactly. So I started studying more and more on the experience from
No offense
others.
to anybody who's Cuban. I'm not saying that.
No,
in
no,
any
it's
poor
like-
way, but
it's-
it is
it's-
unfortunately.
Yeah. It's basically like we tell you the same advisory if if it was the situations in that the way things are in Puerto Rico, for example. I would say,
Yeah,
hey,
actually,
you're
Puerto
going
Rico's
out.
also a
don't
little bit,
don't
yeah.
bring anything flashy. Walking around and stuff.
Also, third
just-
world issue. Yeah, a little bit there. So.
Yeah. So anyway, so yeah, what you mentioned about communist country and it kind of concerns too. Of course, they don't have the social credit system like in
which
China.
is like I said, that's and then I don't know. I don't know if that's something that as a foreigner they will look into. So hey, what's your we need so not only in order to get your visa to come over, we need to have your Facebook account,
Right.
and your Instagram account because we need to see how many likes and hearts you're getting. Because if it's not enough, then unfortunately you're gonna be stuck here.
But
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? I'm like, no. I want to call Abel, dude. Unfortunately, I am forced now to learn Mandarin because I can't go back.
I can't go back.
Somebody give me some likes, please.
I'm working. Wow.
I'm sorry.
This
I'm
is
sorry.
probably a
I've-
very
I've-
serious thing.
I know.
We just
I'm
don't know,
laughing,
honestly.
yeah, I'm
if
laughing,
it's
but
supposed,
I'm
if it's meant to
not
be,
trying to laugh,
we apologize. We don't mean to.
But it's a real thing.
But it's a
and-
real thing. Yeah.
And God forbid that stupid type of shit gets over here.
Yes.
Just saying.
Yes. Just like Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Oh yes.
Another one in the news of the weird.
This is sword and shield. Yeah, that is not the two I was expecting.
No, those Pokemon Sword and Shield revealed for Nintendo Switch. So this week, during a special Nintendo Direct for Pokemon Day, Nintendo have finally revealed its upcoming Pokemon games for the Nintendo Switch, which seem to represent Generation 8. Named Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. The games will be released in late 2019. So that's a December. When they say it like that, that's December 7 probably.
Yeah.
Something like that.
They do well though, so I mean, it's not.
It won't
They
matter,
can release
really.
it on.
They're gonna
I don't
release
know.
it with the movie. No,
They can release it with Call of Duty, and it will still sell millions. So
because Call of Duty is not on Switch. You can see the game in action and a trailer. You can go to YouTube if you want to. So the games are set in a new region named Galar, which looks to be similar in appearance to Britain.
yes,
Yeah.
the Sword and Shield kind of gave that away. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I would say yes. Why am I thinking Pokemon Monty Python?
The Holy
For
Grail.
some reason, that
Nice,
sounds
yeah.
even better.
Yeah, actually, I play that.
The three starter creatures were shown off in Nintendo's Pokemon's Direct presentation. They are a grass monkey named Grookey, of course, a fire bunny named Scorn Bunny,
Oh.
and a sad water lizard Sobble. I can't with fucking Pokemon.
With the names, yeah.
No,
I know.
no. Yeah, we're back. We had some technical difficulties there when I accidentally pressed the pause button. But you guys didn't notice, so moving on. Sword and Shield are directed by Shigeru Ohmori. I probably mispronounced that horribly, so I apologize to Ohmori-san. Who previously directed Sun and Moon and has worked on the series since 2002, Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire. Following Sword and Shield's trailer, which you can watch on YouTube, the Pokemon Company teased he was working on more Pokemon franchise besides the new titles. No details were confirmed. So I heard that Pokemon has a huge fan base.
As have I. Yes.
No. In all seriousness, I expected a lot more
Fanfare?
Fanfare, for the. I mean, they dedicated a whole direct, towards this announcement. And to be fair, there's probably the voices of millions and millions of people celebrating
There are.
the fact that the Switch is coming. I don't hear them in the group. Does anybody in the group have a Switch?
Can
Can you please post below?
Not that you have a Switch, because I would prefer to know, is anyone interested? And I know, honestly, I would say I think Chaos is definitely into
It's definitely
that.
down, yeah.
But other than him, I don't know, and maybe Mrs. Reaper. But other than them, I don't know who else would be into it, because I just don't know. No one mentions it. No one seems to be. I don't even see people excited as we are about Detective Pikachu. I'm like, what the? I know. I'm
Well, we're not
sorry.
supposed to know
Apologies.
this.
Apologies.
This is not
all that has been
public knowledge.
redacted.
So we are we'll edit that out later.
Yes,
Yeah, Pikachu. That's all I got, bro.
that's all I got. All right, guys. We'll be right back with our
Hot topic.
Guys, it's time for our hot topic of the week. Hot topic again is style over substance. This is the hot topic Mr. Dream Twister had brought up, specifically because of the forced drought that recent AAA titles has forced upon him.
Yes. This is something that has been weighing on my shoulders,
Yes,
and
it definitely has.
I need to. It is. First of all, I want to clarify. This is not something that started recently, and this is not. So this practice is not because of Anthem. Okay, it brings it to the
really,
forefront.
Yeah, really shines a light on.
But but it's almost like no, this didn't start with that. This should end with this, but it won't, and that is the mostly publishers, or I would say close to all the time publishers' choice to to bring a game out, sometimes in still what would be considered early stages, or not content complete,
I would say not content complete.
or because
stages
early
kinda
stages sounds like they're broken, although they
Yeah,
kind of are too. Let's
Fallout
be real.
76, I know, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. No, but I'm trying to help me out here, because I think you could put it in better words. But it's when the games are released and they are on a very very basic status. Like, let's say they're very content light. They're
Yes.
it's very few things, and you could
They are
tell.
stylish. They are well. That's why I wanted to clarify on how you meant it, because in the sense of, for instance, Anthem or Destiny, or any of these big games, even going as far as Odyssey, because that's become its own thing. But however, that's an example where you have a shitload of content in game. That's a perfect example of the way it should work, right? You get a game and you get so much content for it that when you get additional stuff, you go, hell yeah, I'll pay. I've played 100 hours already. Why wouldn't I pay a little bit extra
Right.
for that new stuff? Where the other publishers or other, just to say other games, because it's hard to sometimes point as to, is it the publisher all the time? Sometimes, because even games that we kind of blame EA on, the actual developers are going, oh, this is our idea. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's hard to say who's doing this. You know what I mean? But the point is that you have these games that come out and clearly they are light on everything but style, right? Because the style is what is selling. To bring back Anthem, the style in Anthem is, hey, you get to be Iron Man. You know what I mean? And that's cool as shit. I played the demo, the demos and everything that came out, and yes, that is cool as shit. However, that takes you but so far. You know what I
Right.
mean? Same thing with, to get off of games of service for a second, take a freaking God of War. That freaking Leviathan axe was the shit.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah.
But if that's all you did, that
Yeah.
was like the thing. You were going into every room and just using this and moving to the next room and use this. And it's like, yeah,
Even
that
though
gets old.
it looked awesome,
Yeah, yeah.
and it felt cool as shit to do it.
It was the best.
But
But
if
at
it
some
was-
point, if you don't have a story, if you don't have more content in the actual game, then you're just gonna be like, okay, well, that was cool and all. But that seems to be what the unfortunately what the plan is now. It's like it's literally they're actually planning to say, hey, we just need a hook. Get us a well-designed hook. We'll figure out the rest after that, but get us that well-designed hook. And we got to get our best guys on this. So we're going to get the DICE and the BioWares and I know I keep using them, but I can't think of anybody else. But we'll get these, we get these guys who know are good. Who? Bungees, right? Yeah, you get the Bungees, you know what I'm saying? And we know, like, the Bungie's hook. What was Bungie's hook? When you think of Destiny, what was the best thing of Destiny?
The shooting.
The shooting mechanics.
Right.
That's your hook. Dude, you're going to have the best shooting mechanics. We'll figure out everything else after that, but you're going to have the best shooting mechanics. And then they'll figure out the rest of the world, and the content and everything else. And at first, I was forgiving because I was like, you know what? You're trying to create a consistent world that keeps people coming back with new content and all this stuff. And obviously, at first, they couldn't figure out or couldn't plan the schedule of, all right, how often are these updates coming? How often are we going to get these going? Are we going to wait for a few months before we get the next piece in? Is that too far? Is the next month too close? You know what I'm saying? So you figured with the first few games that had this, that they would figure out the thing. For instance, your perfect example is The Division 2. Where, okay, the first one was good, but that content took too long to come out, and it lost people after that. Yes, some came back, but the community was definitely smaller by the time that new content kept rolling in. Same thing with Destiny, although Destiny, I think the first Destiny had a much a bigger comeback with the new stuff, especially with Taken King, stuff like that. But by the time you get to Destiny 2, and then Forsaken and all that stuff, the community's smaller. It's not the same community that was there before. It's the same fans, though, which is a shame why it seems to be not working for Activision. But it's the point is that the return of it was already too late when they started getting the content rolling. So you figured, okay, so you have these new things that are coming out, and it's going to be okay. They have these, what do you call it? They always call it the roadmap, right? Everybody has a roadmap now. You know what I mean? And it's like, well, hey, you're going to have this content flowing, and it's like, but you never. Is it? I guess the question is, are you paying for the roadmap? Right?
Yeah.
I guess I think that's
Are
what
you
they're
paying for the
trying to do.
promise?
And
what guarantees me that this is actually going to be as exciting as you're making it sound?
correct.
Right.
And
So-
I think that's what it is, and I think that's why so many gamers are accepting of it, because they're saying, yes, that's what we're doing. We're paying for that promise, and I guess it's okay with them. But maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm just not there yet. Maybe I just.
Well,
I don't-
that's the fundamental problem. It shouldn't be okay with it, because that is the equivalent of a snake oil salesman, or selling you the Brooklyn Bridge. Is the idea of something that you have no. We're selling you on the promise of that we're gonna make this content, but you don't even know if this content is gonna be worth the waiting, the money that you're spending, and the fact that more and more gamers seems to be accepting it, and some of them even defending this practice, is what gets me worried about the future of gaming in general. Because games
I think
nowadays,
AAA gaming is where the concern is. 'Cause
Well,
I think smaller titles will still be innovative and do it. That's why
Right,
that's
right.
why I live in the indie titles. So I think that's that's what I wanted to say. AAA title.
Right. My concern is most of this major publishers nowadays, they're trying to focus on, obviously they all want to make loads amount of money, not just content with the sales of your game, is how much revenue can we get from have you still playing the game, but more importantly, because of the amount of time in which they release, because of their schedule in which they release it, because of their roadmaps, as you very well call them, what is the minimum amount of content that we can deliver, that we can get out first
Early on.
so that then we have something else, the hook, the promise to keep adding in the future. And unfortunately, nowadays that is a real practice. I think it's called the minimum viable product. Yeah, minimum viable product, the MVP. It is basically the publishers. Let's say the studio making a game, and this is all the content and all that we have so far, and then publishers saying, yeah, this is fine and all, but this is a little too much to offer up front. I think we can charge them for this.
We're gonna wall some of this off.
Let's wall some of this. Let's cut some of it off to where you notice it. You notice like it happened in Destiny, and also you see it in Anthem. When in Anthem, for example, and again I'm using it because it's the most recent example, the one most fresh into my mind. There are places where you have you while you're doing a mission, you have a contact constantly talking to you, right? But somehow you haven't really met that contact, because when you get to the tower,
Yeah.
let's call it, you actually are introduced them, So and it's stuff like that where it's like is nobody noticing this or rewriting this, or what happened that at the last minute, because it seems
What
like
got cut,
last
yeah.
minute
Something got
was
cut, yeah.
was cut, exactly. And that is another, it's what seems to be another practice called, here comes the closers. And the closers are meant to be the people that are going to review the status of the game so far and decide what parts could they actually separate, what ingredients could they take out so that they can piecemeal them to you later on. Most recently, again, is looking at all the content that whenever you see those VDocs from the developers or from BioWare, you will see, for example, let's say I'm trying to remember the example. Oh, the freaking customization. All the customization options. You see. You saw them. There were hundreds of things that they could. Of course, they weren't going one by one, but you see the menu and you see them full of all these customization options. And then the game was released, and none of that shit is there.
You haven't unlocked it yet, or paid for it yet.
Yeah, exactly. Or they haven't even released it yet to be.
Even though it was available a moment ago, but yeah.
Oh, it's probably in there. It's probably there in the code. So and that's my problem is, yes, that is happening. And little by little, we're being more accepting, of that practice,
and
which is what the publishers want us to be.
To do, yeah, obviously, that's what they want you to be accepting of it. So that if we do this often enough, they will just say, "Hey, man, it is what it is. This is exactly what it's going to be." And I agree. I don't want to be like that. I wanted to go back to what we mentioned before, where it was the promise, right? The promise of it by selling you that first game. And I wonder, has any of them lived up to that promise? And even a better question is let's take a game, for instance, like Warframe, which was free. It's free, technically. There's stuff you can pay for it and all that and, there, and stuff like that. But what if that game was $60 up front or $40? I mean, it had to be a full price title. Would you say looking back at Warframe? Let's say the only difference we go back in time, and the only difference we change is we make the game $60. But everything else, they release everything else the way it is. Would you think that that's something? Would you think that the promise was delivered in that case? You know, and was the time that it took to deliver this promise for them, was the fact that it was free okay to wait for it?
Well, this will be hard to personally answer just because I'm not a Warframe player.
But
I admire
Yeah.
what I've seen, and yes, if you're gonna make a product that is that is free, I think there's already there is. I mean, let's be real. It's free, but it's because they expect you to spend money on
Correct,
that
yeah.
stuff. But still, the fact of the matter is that of course they expect money. They're not just doing it out of the
Correct,
goodness of their heart.
They have to survive somehow.
Exactly. So, give another example would be like Path of Exile, which is a full-fledged Diablo type game that you get absolutely free. So, in that you're already showing the goodwill enough to say, well, this game might not, might have problems, let's say, but hey, I didn't spend my money on it. I don't have to spend money on it until they fix it, and they're still working on it, and they brought it. Or from what I hear from the Warframe fans is that, oh yeah, they have delivered a fantastic game on it nowadays. Good on them. That I'm totally fine with that. That game was free to play from the get go. Is that it already demonstrated that goodwill. It's not trying to be overly greedy, like let's say a game like The Division. You get a Division, and Division 1. Yeah, no, it was not a terrible game, but it was buggy as hell. Mm-hmm. It was it was very light on content, and on top of that, they expected you to spend money on top of the $60 that you already gave them, or $100 if you bought the special edition or whatever. That is where I draw the line. That's the problem. It's almost like, you know what? I don't like loot boxes, but for some reason they don't bother me when they're in free to play games. They don't bother me as much. I'm still opposed to the concept of it, but if a game is out there and it's free and it has them, like, it doesn't bother me as much as say, oh, I pay $60 for this, and now on let's say on this single player game, and now you're gonna offer me loot boxes on top of that.
So before we started recording, I had agreed to be the devil's advocate in this particular situation, which makes it difficult because for the most part, obviously I agree with what you're saying. So here's the only argument I can pose as a devil's advocate, and is this: what is actually? You know what? Let me bring it up here. On the top of your head, you played the first division. Did you beat the first division?
No, I was playing it actively until very recently.
Okay, how many hours did you think you put in?
Now, recently I put starting a character from one, because the first time I just got bored, and then I got my level 23 probably.
Okay.
I know I didn't reach the level cap. I want to say it's 30, but I never reached it because it was just not holding me. But then there was a little bit of time where I was getting excited about the Division 2. Hopefully, being something that will build up on the fixes that they did on Division 1. So I wanted to beat it again. So I put probably like 10 or 12 hours on it.
Okay. So would it surprise you to know that the main story averages about 21 hours just for the main story?
Would it surprise me?
Yeah. This is main story, not including anything additional content, not including multiplayer, none of that stuff. Just
Well,
the main
yeah,
story.
it sounds. Yeah,
Sounds
it
about
sounds.
right?
It sounds like a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds fairly reasonable.
Yeah.
All right. So, so let's go to a game, and of course, the division came out at a full $60 retail, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Let's go to a game a little bit back in the past. You may have heard of this game called. You actually enjoyed it very much. Called Vanquished.
Vanquish.
Yeah,
Yes.
very good game from Sega and what's the
Oh, Platinum Games.
Platinum Games? Thank you.
Yeah.
That was also full $60 title.
Yes.
All right. Do you recall how long it took to? Did you ever beat it?
No, but I recall it being a short game, probably like 6 hours or something like that.
Correct. So that's roughly the average. With extra stuff, you can get about 8 hours in there.
Yeah.
So wouldn't it be fair to say that while yes, the I guess content can be considered light in the type of game, wouldn't it be a fair assessment to say in a game, just using these two examples, the Division versus Vanquish, paid $60 for Vanquish, beat it in 6 hours, and not to say it's repetitive, but you're kind of doing the same thing, shooting, sliding, and getting new whatever, but for the most part, doing the same thing for 6 hours.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? And then with the Division, you're getting roughly about 21 hours worth of gameplay,
Yeah.
and you're still doing a lot of the same thing, and you're getting your story. Whether it's a good story or not, it's
Yeah.
that's subjective. There's not much you can do about that. Same thing with Anthem. Anthem, I looked it up. It's roughly about 12 hours of main story. Again, this is not including anything extra on top of that.
Right.
Wouldn't it be a fair assessment to say that while yes, it's clear that they want to get more money out of you after you've completed what you need to complete to keep you coming back to this game, would it be a fair assessment to say you're getting what you would normally get from a $60 title anyway? Especially for the most part, a well-developed AAA, let's say top of the line for the most part, graphics and all this stuff.
Right.
Wouldn't it be a fair assessment to say you're getting what you're paying?
Right, I get it. If we were qualifying gameplay and fun gameplay as the length of time that a game will take it, that would be a fair assessment. But who really does that? That's like the equivalent of saying, well, this movie is better because it was longer. And that's not necessarily the case, because the movie could have been garbage. And low production values and in general. So we can't quantify.
We shouldn't. Definitely we shouldn't quantify.
We should. So in a game, let's say I bought Vanquish. I got 6 hours of pure adrenaline pumping fun. Like, I can say I was satisfied, with that. I already had my expectations set as, well, this is probably not going to be an MMO. This
True.
is probably not going to be a 20-hour thing. This is going to last me probably 6, probably 8 hours, probably 10. Let's say it lasted me 6. I'll probably be disappointed at the fact that it was 6, but I wouldn't be, if as long as I have my fun and as long as I have my feel, I still would consider it,
True.
worth the money.
Now, so that's a good, I guess, a good retort. But the argument is the content, and the content is, yes, it measured in,
Well, I don't
if you
want-
measured into the time that you spend in it. But
Yeah, but we don't want content for content's sake. When we say content, we don't mean.
Well,
we
we
don't
don't
mean
want
explanation.
crap. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Because anybody, because then do a freaking roguelike and
you can make it a fetch quest here and all this stuff. And
yeah,
make
you can
it
say bring me
collectibles.
train rat pelts.
Clearly, you don't want that.
So when we mean content, like, we want quality content, like, say, hey, the epitome of examples of great content made right, The Witcher 3. The Witcher 3 was a long-ass game, a lot longer than probably you and I would have anticipated it to be.
I didn't anticipate it. I was
Right?
completely surprised. Yeah.
And on top of that, the content that was there was superb quality. The stories, like you said it yourself. Even the side quests, even the most mundane side quests were. And this is me. You didn't say this, but this is me thinking of processing what you're saying. I'm hearing the most mundane side quests are better than most of the main stories on some games.
True.
So there you go. So
I can definitely do that.
so when we say content like that, it's sort of like having an expectation. World of Warcraft, when World of Warcraft came out, that game was not light on content. And I'm not saying it didn't have 20 raids or anything like that, because nobody expected that. But the content that that it had was it was complete. It had a bunch of races. It had a whole world where you could travel, that you could explore. You can't say about that because as big as Destiny's planets might end up, might look like they
appear to be, yeah.
might appear to be. There's still a stage. It's basically the equivalent of a stage location. Same thing with Anthem. Same thing with the Division. Same thing with this particular type of games. And I understand when we say games as services, it encompasses more than just the looter shooters.
Mm-hmm.
I'm focusing on looter shooters, but people, let it be known that games as service is not looter shooters alone.
No.
It is obviously you got your Fortnite and your Apex Legends and your Warframes and those type of games.
It's a consistently online, consistently evolving game is what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. It's like to me it feels like the natural evolution of an MMO.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't see those, a lot because
because there's only so much space in the world.
it's not viable.
Yeah.
It's no longer a viable.
Correct.
It doesn't seem to be a viable.
So would you
making a game?
Yeah. Would you say so? So there was a time, right, where every company was trying to do an MMO, right? It was like MMOs were popping up left and right.
Yeah.
As I'm sure many of us saw, it was there's no way all of these can exist at once.
No.
Some are gonna
There
fail
was a
because
Star Wars MMO, and then there was another Star Wars MMO that took over.
yes.
And not even neither one of them could compete with the beastie that was that still is World of Warcraft.
That still is World, which is still there, still ongoing.
Yeah.
Would you agree that this new games and service that we're seeing now is the natural response by the company saying, okay, MMOs are too big. Obviously, we're going to spend way more time developing and doing this stuff for an MMO and really not get much back. So let's scale back a little bit, but still have those elements. And do you think that this is a natural response and evolving from the companies going?
It is, but this particular triumvirate of companies that we have, because it's almost like the three, right? It almost feels that way. You got the Activision, your EA, and Ubisoft. The big ones. They're throwing the needle so far in the other way that now instead of saying, well, these wheels are too big, let's just bring it down a little bit, they're saying, well, let's just bring the bare essentials. How can we make this game run?
We need to get the hook. We need to just get the hook.
And
develop me a hook.
Get the thing, exactly. Get the thing that, hey, in Anthem, it might have been the flying because God knows that the shooter ain't it. It might be well, I played it enough to finally realize, this shooting is not all that. It just, your point and click shooting. There's nothing special on it. None of the weapons on it are anywhere special. Even the quote unquote legendaries, evidently they don't.
They're reskins, is what I.
They
exactly.
Exactly. They don't.
Which is
same
even
thing.
worse,
The same problem that the division had, and I never played that high level to see if they
because the
actually
weapons all look the same. They're just more stronger.
Say what you will about Destiny, but at least those weapons are different. And you know who did it right? Fucking Borderlands 2. Borderlands 2, freaking Gearbox did the looter shooter right, and no one has been able to get close to them yet. To a shocking realization,
just
like,
now,
it
right?
blows my mind.
Yeah.
That game has weapons galore of all time, and they were different enough to where you'd be like, oh yeah, no, what I have you don't have because this is special.
Yeah.
None of that. Destiny went the route of what of the route of, well, let's craft this weapons, let's handcraft these weapons, you know, and because of that, they tend to look really cool. But then everybody tends to have the same fucking weapon because, of course, there's only so many. But yeah, it's basically. I understand what you're saying about, hey, and I know this is you forcing yourself to be
the devil's advocate. So normally I'd be
advocate.
sitting on your end, but
Yeah.
to make it interesting for every, and honestly, to also, the reason I'm also doing this is also to be that voice for other people going, hey, we liked, and I think this
Yeah.
is the other point that I was going to bring up, and I'll hang up my
Your
my devil's
advocacy.
advocate hat, after this. But the other point that I wanted to bring up is, so the other aspect of it that obviously is the most attractive to everyone playing these things, including games like Fallout 76. As bad as that game was reviewed, I don't even know I know there's updates happening. I don't know if it's much better. I don't even care. It's not even whatever. But the point is to say that the reason why these things continue and the reason why that goes because there are people playing them. And in the end, is it just okay for the people who actually enjoy this, which are in the millions, believe it or not, again, even in Fallout 76, who just go, yeah, I like playing with my people. Isn't that exactly what Fortnite is? There was, I don't know where it was, and you'll have, this is a podcast or somewhere I remember hearing, a father wrote into the podcast saying, the strange thing about Fortnite is I hear my son in his room and he's hanging with his friends. They're not there because they're at their houses, but he's hanging with his friends. They're not even playing very well. It doesn't matter because it's an online space for them to go hang and talk and bullshit and do whatever you know. And while that's obviously he's talking about a kid, that would relate to any one of us playing video games. For instance, the other day when I was just mentioned the Apex Legend thing, I only played it 3 times, but I was playing Hitman. But the moment Chaos mentioned, hey man, I'm gonna jump on Apex Legend. Do you want to jump on? I was like, fuck yeah. Saved it where I was, jumped out, and even though I was doing poorly, because I was doing poorly until I saved them, because I still feel heroic after that. Even though I was doing poorly, it was that online experience that in Apex, and let's be real, we can look at Apex, we can look at Fortnite, and we can look at PUBG and go, yeah, there's not much substance there. It's it's a one-trick pony. You know what I mean? It's basically what you're doing. So all that said, I had a lot of fun with that. Isn't that just enough? Isn't it enough to say, hey, I have an online space to go hang with my peoples, to go play this game, to go discover new things, even if those new things are mundane to some people? Isn't that just okay?
Well, that will set a dangerous precedent because then we'll be accepting just anything that will just have us that will connect us to play. That might as well just go hang out in freaking Facebook Messenger for that for that matter. If that's the way you want to socialize. Of course, I'm being facetious. I'm not really saying that. I'm not really saying how you should have your fun. And I appreciate if you're okay with this. There's no judgment, bro. It's that's fine. If you're happy with what you were deliver on Anthem, then that's good. It talks to you. I have seen what that company can do, and unfortunately, this doesn't look like enough. This doesn't look like anything like that company could have done. And when we criticize these games in general, it's because we don't want that. We don't enjoy. I do not enjoy panning Anthem or Fallout 76. For that matter. I don't want games to be. I don't want games to be crap. That's the reason why. Like I haven't even mustered the will to play anything because I'm like, fuck gaming, man. It sucks that we have come to this part where this is what's acceptable now. This is like the new normal in gaming. Like you could actually have a game arguably broken because if you're not gonna tell me if you're gonna tell me that high level gear and Anthem that was supposed to give you perks, one gun gives you perk for something else or something that is not related to it at all, or gives you zero chance of imparting zero fire damage for 0 seconds. It's like, what the hell is that? It sounds funny.
It sounds funny, but it's
it
out
is
there, yeah,
true.
yeah.
It happened. It's out there. There's video that, and stuff like that. Dude, I invite you to try some of the games that if you want to play. Apex Legend is a perfect example. You don't even have to spend a dime on it, and you can still have a blast. With your friends. And you mentioned Fortnite. With the example of the kid and the father. Yeah, so far those games that you have mentioned have been games that are considered good by the it has their strong fans.
Destiny has also been yes,
Destiny is good.
It's a solid 7 Metacritic. You know what I mean? Anthem has still been considered good by many, not so good by others, but it's still somewhere
Anthem
in the
hasn't-
6 range, which is still okay.
Anthem, yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
the
So,
thing.
yeah.
We shouldn't be happy with just okay anymore. Because no, seriously,
I
because
believe it,
okay is just bad that is boosted by the defenders, right? When you get a 6.0, I really believe that 6.0 is really because the majority of people were seeing the flaws on this, where they will give it a 2 or a 3, and then they had a few defenders that, no man, this is an 8 because for whatever reason I spend the money on it.
So, okay, for Metacritic, yeah.
Or
I got you.
it's stuff like that. So and we shouldn't be okay with getting a game that is severely cut on content and just be happy with, I'll get to. They promised that we're gonna give this stuff later on, because what if you don't get it for free? What if now this is available, but you have to pay for it?
Additionally.
Hey,
Which
that's
is-
what happened with the Taken
Destiny.
King.
Yeah, that's what everything new in Destiny. You had to,
exactly.
you had to basically pay for it.
You buy a fucking collector or the high edition, whatever
collector's
it was
edition,
called, collector's edition, whatever, and they give you 2 pieces of content, but the actual piece of content that actually is meaty enough. Oh no, that's an expansion.
rolled
You
up,
buy
yeah,
that one. Yeah, that one's $40 more. $40, please.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like at that point you shouldn't be okay. You shouldn't be happy with just that, And be careful if you start feeling like you're accepting of it,
So basically, what you're saying is we should, and this is, I'm already hung up my hat. So,
Yeah.
so I'm no longer in the devil's advocate camp. However,
Do not settle. You deserve better.
Don't be complacent.
Don't
is
be
what,
complacent.
is what my
Yeah.
cohort is trying to say.
Don't say it's this is broken and this is bad, but it's still fun. Yes, but it's still fucking broken.
Call it what it is. It's still a broken game.
It's still a broken
Yeah.
game. Exactly. You shouldn't be okay with that.
Another example of a game that was broken and might be still broken now, very broken. It's Friday the 13th, right? The game.
Oh,
It's
wow.
like, that was another one where it had, for whatever reason, had a following. You know what I mean? It was out there. I actually played a little bit of it too, but I don't know how I got it. I got on the sale.
I
maybe
think you
something.
got on. Yeah, no, I think it was.
PlayStation Plus. Maybe
Yeah,
it
I
was
think
PlayStation
so.
Plus. Yeah. So, in the defense of my bro here, for anyone listening thinking that he's just hating on it, is the reason, or that we're just hating on it, is the reason that the concern comes up for these things is because we've done this, we've played this long enough, and we've been in the business of finance and all the stuff that we see the strings. We see the puppet strings behind these companies, and in the end, we know what matters most to companies. And if you don't know, just look at what Activision did to 800 people not too long ago.
Yeah.
What was the most important thing?
Yeah.
Wasn't them. You
No.
know what I mean? So
On the record, on the year they have the record earnings.
record earnings. So we see the strings, and it does bother us. Well, for me, it's not bothering as much as it's bothering him, because for me right now, I'm just kind of loving my backlog. You know what I mean? But I have had moments like that where it's just like, man, I'm so bummed with what's going on.
That dialogue could end, and it could all. What if everything is a game of service suddenly?
Then, like I said,
So
that's
if
where the
we need to fight this now.
indie market, sir. I'm going to stick with it until that becomes a game of service as well. Tell you
Until
what-
the indies start seeing like, oh,
Yeah.
Is
They'll
that
come in. You know what?
right?
We'll give you these 2 indie titles here with the promise of these 3 that's going to be over here with another
That doesn't
an
sound
additional
bad.
30. I know, hey, actually.
that's like a subscription service.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. Do you remember Columbia Music?
Yes,
That's
Columbia
what,
House,
that's
yeah.
what that is.
For games.
Yes. Pay 1 penny for these 3 games here each.
Oh,
with
wow.
a subscription that you have to get another 5 after this.
I thought you were describing a Humble Bundle there for a second.
No.
Humble Bundle is great though.
It is great.
Yeah.
Yes. Shout out to Humble Bundle.
Yes.
All right, guys. Well, that brings us to the end of an awesome episode 100, the real episode 149. We're 1 away from 150.
Wow.
Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Mad Dog signing off for this week. Mr. David Santos, thank you so much for the tacos that you made earlier. They
Ah.
were really good. I appreciate it, especially the crusty, and a crusty in a good way. The crispy. I'm
The
sorry,
crispy.
crispy. I just realized I used the wrong word. The crispy,
crispy shell.
the shells. Oh,
yeah.
so good. stuff, man.
They were not meant to be crispy, but if you
But it's
burn
just
them enough,
toasted- yeah, you toast them well enough, and it has this nice little smokiness. I love it, and I'm not joking. I'm not trying to be, whatever. I'm really like,
That's
I
a
dig
happy
it.
accident.
Yes, Sarah, take us home.
All right. So here's what I propose for this next week.
Mm-hmm.
For this next week, I am going to try. I'm not promising anything, but I'm going to give it my shot, my best shot to at least finish the Chris campaign on Resident Evil 2.
Yes.
If I do that, I will win nothing. But
So
I'll
you
be
will
happy.
win my love.
There you go. That's what it takes to win his love.
That's all it takes. I'm trying to get my wife to do it, but she's not down.
She's not playing.
She's not down with
She's
that
not
shit.
playing.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
The time has come to bend at the knees. So I invite you, everybody, no pressure, put your mind at ease. Oh, girl, I'm gonna take you out on a Tuesday night if you're into it. So everybody, style it out from the left to the right. That's right.
GG's The Mouthful Podcast is brought to you by GoodGame.Tech, the most welcoming gaming community on Facebook. Join the conversation at www.goodgame.tech.